Every event has a bracket of death, where fate forces a lion's share of the league's top killers into harsh battles, just to survive, just to make it out of the prelims. Because only half of the league plays on Sunday, and Sunday is the only day that matters in pro paintball. At the NXL Lone Star Major in 2023, the top 3 teams overall all came out of the same bracket. And in the final battle for the win on Sunday, it was Houston Heat versus San Diego Dynasty, a rematch from the second major event last season, where Dynasty dismantled Heat in a 7-1 mercy rule victory. This time the finals would be a more contested story. Though Heat and Dynasty's roads to Sunday went through the same bracket, their roads to the final match took different routes. Since the COVID break of 2020, San Diego Dynasty has been driving a stake into the hearts of the other top teams' dreams of dominance, winning more than half of the events. But what has made this run so special is the adversity that they've faced along the way, and Texas was no different, as they dropped their very first game in the prelims on Friday against Infamous. Though Dynasty had a clean run through their next 3 games, including a 1-point win over Houston Heat, they still ended up in the wildcard round, which meant that they would need to win 4 straight matches on Sunday to tie the record of 3 major event wins in a row. Three-time world champs Houston Heat are the most consistent team in paintball. Second overall in 2022, and they didn't miss a Sunday. They haven't won an event in 2 seasons. Heat's only stumble at the Texas prelims was a 1-point loss to Dynasty, who now sat on the other side of the Sunday bracket. The Houston Heat would need to get through New York Extreme and LA Infamous in order to get a chance to get revenge and hoist a first-place trophy again.
Team ball all day, all fucking day, team paintball. Pass that ball around.
Dynasty's first fight early Sunday morning in the wildcard round would be against the ML Kings, who they drug into the deep water. After going up by 1 early, the veterans showed masterful control, grinding out a point that ran over 10 minutes. And then they held off a last-second attack by Kyle Berry, but the iron wall that is Marcelo Margot stayed alive, and they got the shutout win. Next up for Dynasty in the quarterfinals was the sophomore sensations, the New Orleans Hurricanes, who looked refined and deadly in their prelim wins against Revo, Damage, and Diesel. But Dynasty, even with low bodies, shut them down at the start of the game to take the lead, and they then grinded out another long point, which was clinched by Ryan Greenspan getting a shot on Aaron Pate, who played on and drew a major penalty. The Hurricanes pulled within 1 in the next point when Daniel Camp beat out Chris Shear in a race for the buzzer, as they both blew up in their sides. With 150 left and down 1, the Hurricanes still had a chance, but Dynasty shut the door on their event, as Blake Yarber shot the snake off the break and then also stitched up Stuart Ridgel, and combined with Mike Urena to absolutely punish Camp as the last body left alive in the snake. Old-time enemies, Dynasty would have to get through X Factor yet again. They built up a 2-point lead in the semis by shutting X Factor snake side down, controlling situations, burning clock, and winning gunfights. But with less than 5 minutes to go, X Factor came roaring back to tie the game by taking full advantage of 2 consecutive Dynasty penalties. Then with less than a minute left, Mike Urena and Chris Shear almost stole the win, but Urena needed another half second, and the game went to overtime. Dynasty knows to beat X Factor, you have to shut down Billy Bernaccia on the snake side, and they were able to take him out off the break again to go up 5-on-4. Urena got into the 50 snake, and as time was ticking down, Marcelo Margot filled over at the perfect moment to catch Colt Roberts for the crucial kill. Dynasty had knocked out X Factor yet again. Heat fought a close war against New York Extreme in the quarterfinals, as Extreme had absolutely destroyed everyone that they played as they ran through their prelim division undefeated. He'd had a rough start in the first point, losing a high body situation, but then they tied it up after Chad George got a kill in the snake, and then they stopped Pat Kraft Jr. from pushing down the D side. He played offensively in the deciding moment, getting a kill off the break and sending everyone to the 50-yard line with a minute left in the game. New York Extreme had no answer, and Heat moved on to the semifinals. Houston Heat barely beat Infamous in the prelims, and their contest in the semis would also be a low-scoring tactical battle. Though Infamous looked poised to put up the first long point, with Zach Patient showing off his crafty skill in a low-body situation, watching Chad George's shadow while he creeped up for the kill. And then veteran Callie Rudolph ran down Ryan Smith, but after the chaos it was 2-on-2. Joe Barrett attacked towards Ronnie Dizon, both gunfighting with little paint left, and Tyler Harmon used this distraction to run down Patient. He'd extended their lead in the next point, when Infamous couldn't make the most of a high-body situation, and Ronnie Dizon and Tyler Harmon clocked in again as the last 2 bodies alive. The team burnt off enough time. Though Thomas Taylor made it through the full send gauntlet to put a point on the board for Pride, Infamous's tournament was done. They would have to settle for a respectable third place. Unlike Philadelphia last year, the final match in Texas would not be a blowout. Instead, it was a blow-for-blow and move-for-move game, and as it turned out, penalty for penalty, as both teams tried to exert their will on each other. Dynasty got off to an early lead with Urena and Greenspan clearing out the Snake side. Then, Heat took 2 unanswered points for the lead when Dynasty drew 2 penalties in a row.
Killer's gonna get 1, he's gonna get 2.
Wow, big
beautiful move, but no, but it's gonna be a major penalty assessed on Blake that's gonna pull out Marcelo.
But Dynasty, starting with only 4 bodies, pulled it back from the brink when they shot Chad George and he drew a minor as well. Dynasty played tight, they played perfect, and they kept all 4 bodies alive, and it was all tied up.
Another body coming off right now with Ryan Smith, Yosh Rao,
Smith taking the
hunting
walk.
in the center, and just dominant performance here. 4 bodies started this point for Dynasty as they were on in a deficit, and 4 bodies end for Dynasty.
Then there was another penalty in the next point, this time on Greenspan, helping give the lead back to Heat as Dynasty was forced to concede quickly to preserve time. There was 4:30 left on the clock, but Dynasty, undaunted, tied it up again in the next point.
Tried to make the move out, and as soon as that happened, it was just Ronnie Deason left alive. That forces the coaching staff here for Houston Heat, Pat McKenna and Tom Martinez, to concede. Gonna just speed crawl up to the 50-yard line.
Alex is hunting down the Snake. He's going to try to go forward, listen to find out where Chad George's gun is at, and try to get Chad George without dying. Number 1 priority, get Chad George off the field. Number 2, try to do it and stay alive.
Oh, he's not scared to go. Alex Frazier going to come around, stitch up Chad George, and stay alive.
Doesn't get better than that, Matt.
Beautiful job by the legend Alex Frazier, but he does get clipped on the way back, but he did his job to get Chad George off the field. It looks like Tyler Harmon's going to get shot. Actually, they trades out with Blake, but Ryan Greenspan in a good position to attack.
Gonna go get him. Oh.
Overtime point here. Ryan Greenspan frustrated that he was not able to try to put the team on his back yet again.
In the end, it was decided in overtime, where San Diego Dynasty, extending their reputation as monster gunfighters, were able to win a 4-on-5 after losing Mike Urena off the break, as Marcelo Margot, Blake Yarber, and Chris Shear were all alive on the field to win the point and tie the record of 3 wins in a row, after Tyler Harmon ran Ryan Greenspan down in desperation. It was a close game, but San Diego Dynasty took down Houston Heat and won their 3rd consecutive tournament, with new heroes emerging in their ongoing story and led by their legendary veterans. Dynasty proved yet again that they are the best team our sport has ever seen. Paintball history is at stake in Philadelphia, as no team has ever won 4 major events in a row.
Who you kidding around? All that hating still can't bring me down. Matter of fact, look how I'm living now. Can't give you figures, it's a big amount. Spanish women with me sipping Crown. I'm just here to have a look around. Get to work, I'm here to lift some pounds. I'm on another wave, a different sound. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, and turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver in silence, then let them in, chalk up their body, another one body, that's just how it go. I got some secrets, I'm shaking the game so they stay on their toes. Stay in your lane, how to stay on the go. I came to play with the pros and act like a rookie, so they overlook me, then I double up again, none of their knows, none of them cold. They just got lucky but never adapted, so I'm to the one if it's coming to blows. My enemies cutting it close, I let them think that they got me, but what do you know? I had them beat before we ever spoke, I'm ready for smoke. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, and turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now they ain't go harder than me. They need a blade in a sheath, a shank in a piece, a crate full of heat, an army, a fleet, a tank and a jeep, a navy at sea with ace a marine, an ace up they sleeve, a team of marines, a freak on a leash, a beast with an appetite, razor for teeth, and still they would lay at my feet. Boy, you got the wrong one. I gotta look over all of my publishing statements for Q1 as soon as the song's done. I gotta call up my mama and tell her I made it as soon as my log's done. I gotta read all my trade publications and sip my tea till it is all done. I think it's all fun. I need everything. I need all of everything. Yeah. You a simp, you ain't in my lane. You a lame, bitch, get out my way. 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 Look, whack ass locals say the most. Do the least okay. Talk behind my back to my face. Ain't a peep okay. But that be outrageous. Admit you did the least okay. Step out to the nines. My 3-piece ain't got a crease okay. It's okay. It's okay. Kill on then capiche okay. I be damned if I just made my money over beats okay. Frito-Lay. Chips out on the table. Time to ante up. Damn it, bruh. You be liable to lose the phantom, bruh. She's okay. Risk it all for what to lose, like it's okay. Can't relate. Always had your bets before you reach okay. I'm center stage, heavy risk, evident. My investments aging like a pessimist. Benefits, and you know that my resume is a heavyweight. Yeah, put it on my back. Give me everything. Yeah, I need everything. I need all of everything. Yeah.
For the second event of 2022, the NXL headed to Texas for the Lone Star Open. This event was a minor, meaning attendance was not mandatory for the pro teams, but 15 of them still showed up in the quest to put a win on the board early in the season and prove to everyone they were a contender for the series title.
Right there, Diesel! Right there, Diesel! Right there, baby!
There was a mysterious absence in the list of attending teams. The Latin Saints, even after their big second-place finish at the first event, decided not to make the trip, which begged the question, with a war chest as big as the Saints supposedly had, why would they not attend this event?
Hey, don't forget, company, all right?
Also, the NXL threw everyone a curveball, as the layout featured a snake on both sides but only on half the field. And since this was a blind layout released the day before the event, no one had been able to train for this unconventional situation. Strategy and tactics would evolve in real time.
Learn from your fucking mistakes and execute. Come on, man, let's go.
And again, everyone was looking towards San Diego Dynasty, wondering if they could keep up their uncanny ability to put wins on the board. Dynasty had won 3 major tournaments and 21 games in a row. They had not lost a game in the NXL competitions for 10 months.
We pray for these boys right here. Light them on fire. Help us be victory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Hey, believe in your brothers. Let's go, boys. Right now. Hey, let's go.
No
Let's go.
fucking flash.
Let's go.
Right fucking now.
Let's go, motherfuckers. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Team squad! Let's go.
This particular blind layout is a little different than we've ever seen, so I like it. As far as us, we have some of the old school, we have some of the new school, and really truly it's just getting us all on the same page. So we've been here for hours talking about this, and everybody has a different idea currently of what we should do or how we're gonna do it. We're focusing on, okay, if we get into these situations, how can we work on it? And I think you're gonna see a lot of the top teams, the teams that have been around doing that, and I think you're gonna see some of the newer teams just throwing Hail Marys out here. And it's a field you can throw Hail Marys on, right?
No, sir. No, sir. Hey, get up, stay up, right, damn it? Yes, sir. Let's go. Keith Brown. Enough, man. This isn't hard. You don't have to do anything special. Just don't do anything dumb.
Look at the field. They are coming. Pass the top.
Diesel!
For up-and-coming teams in the Pro Division, every event is another chance in the battle for relevance. It's a fight to make your opponents respect your very existence and to see your organization as an actual threat. There were a few new Sunday contenders in Texas. Energy Elite and the New Orleans Hurricanes both went 3-1 to secure their spot. Fate, however, did not favor some of the favorites. Dynasty and X Factor faltered. Baltimore Revo lost heartbreakers, and they didn't move on. And though Level looked like a top contender in Florida, things were much different here on this blind layout.
A couple interesting teams that got knocked out. Level came after a really good show in last event. They struggled a little bit this event. Hope to see them in the finals in the future. See them do pretty well. Dynasty finally lost their win streak. They had a huge win streak going into this thing, and they finally got cracked. So we'll look forward to seeing them in the future too.
Fuck!
Right out of the gate, the unconventional layout had its fair share of top-end casualties. Day one was a disaster for Dynasty, as they lost both their games to X Factor and Infamous. They had a -9 point spread, and they needed to win both games big on Saturday to have any chance to move forward.
The blind layout events, the minors this year in the Dynasty camp weren't taken very seriously. I hate to say it that way, and we should have taken it seriously because we got beat up. In order to win a paintball tournament, in order to win anything, you need an immense amount of focus. You could have all the talent, you could have all the best players, you could have everything, but if you're not incredibly focused, tuned in, ready to play, then you're not going to win that event. We didn't practice before the first Dallas event. We didn't have a practice the weekend before. We hadn't been together since the Orlando event, and we decided to show up and just try our luck.
They did everything they could on Saturday after the day one disaster to move on, winning both their games, including the last one against Damage. Damage had also lost too, but since both their losses were only by a point, they would skate into the quarters. Dynasty's event was done, and they missed Sunday for the first time since Texas 2017.
So, for us, we got out of the bracket of death. We had multiple close games. We lost 2 games with leads, actually, like pretty good leads, 3-point leads. So going into Sunday, we knew we got out of the bracket of death, like everything was going great for us. Our teamwork was great. We were actually rolling 2 lines. Every single player was playing, which is like not heard of in professional paintball. Usually you play your starting 7, and then you've got guys on the bench ready to rotate in if there's injuries or something happens. But we played every single person, and everyone was just bonding and playing amazing.
After that first event, I decided that we had to play the other guys, period. They're not good enough to play, they shouldn't be on the roster. And that's it. There's really no in between to it. So the mentality I had was I'm gonna go into that event and I'm gonna play 2 lines. If shit doesn't work, I'll cut it down to a hybrid line, but I really wanna play 2 lines.
We immediately felt like it was our event to win. We truly feel that Tampa Bay Damage is one of those teams that learns the field very fast. We know we have the amazing gun skills, our teamwork is very fluent, but we've always struggled with just studying a layout, and I think we overthink it in the practices. So going into the second event with the blind layout, we thought we already had the upper hand.
The teams who proved themselves to be contenders by quickly mastering this strange layout would move on directly to the quarterfinals on Sunday, as there was no wildcard round at this event, so only the top 8 advanced.
Level kind of tapped out on this yesterday because we were constantly going at them. You can hear the commentators, even Greenspan's going, why are they still attacking?
Because we know better than you.
Why are they still attacking? Because we were going to fucking win now. That is the King's way, that's how we're going to fucking play, right? Super proud of how we came out. We're not flat anymore coming out, right guys?
Let's
we're
fucking go.
Angry, right? Listen, the next match is the biggest fucking match.
The biggest match. Houston Heat! Yeah, Chad! Yeah! Houston Heat! Houston Heat!
Yeah, I gotta keep it trendy on my soul. I'm the most selfish person that I know. Here we go, down the rabbit hole. Got a couple carrots around my neck. Self-respect, when you out of line, you put yourself in check. They don't hear me, they don't hear me though. Cycles going around and around.
3 times before that ref looked at him. And he got shot on the outside. Not checking it. They're not checking it.
Houston Heat has been a pillar of professional consistency since their inception 10 years ago, but they do like to drop games early and make it interesting. On Saturday, Houston Heat ran into troubles against New York Extreme, losing by 3, and then prevailed in a high-scoring shootout against Columbus Level. It was a 1-point match that ended Level's event, and tuned up Heat for a rematch against the ML Kings in the quarterfinals.
They really like pushing that snake.
I think the ML Kings have been playing really good lately. They have a lot of younger, smaller guys that are actually, you know, all buying in, right? And it definitely shows when everyone buys into the same game plan and just goes for it, man. And they put their time in, and they have a lot of young killers in that team that are actually coming into their own, I think. And with Charlie behind them and then, you know, a lot of their younger players, I think they've been playing really well and just going for it, man. And it's been showing. They're actually going for these bigger games and going after teams.
And on the breakout, 3 guns up, 2 runners, and it's going to be Ryan Moorhead going that inside route.
The beginning of the Heat ML Kings rematch in the quarterfinals was all Heat. They shot the ML Kings trying to push up the Snake side 4 points in a row, shutting down their most potent offense. And they made very few mistakes themselves to quickly run up the score.
Stay woke, please don't get caught slick. End up showing what you read. Know your worth and don't sell cheap. The ghost is inside of me. Take it out of me. No matter where I've been, it's not where I'm meant to be. I be shining
It was 5-0, and the ML Kings were only 1 point away from a Mercy Rule blowout loss. But there were still 8 minutes and 36 seconds left on the clock. But with the Kings on the ropes, Heat received a major penalty, and a crack opened. The ML Kings refused to go quietly, and they fought back until it was a 1-point match with just 1 minute and 39 seconds to go.
Kyle Berry doing a great job filling up. Here comes Ronnie Dizon.
Kyle Berry played really well.
A minor penalty closed the door, and Heat took a tough win, advancing to meet longtime arch nemesis, Edmonton Impact.
So that is going to do it. Big congratulations to both Houston Heat and Edmonton Impact, who will be playing against each other in the semifinals.
Hey, everybody contribute, baby. Let's go. I'm just here ready. All right, boys, we're back in. Let's go. Let's fight. Hey, we're up, boys. Fucking fight. You got a rag.
Energy Elite also showed vast improvement, playing some of the best paintball we'd ever seen him play, led by Caleb Abel's relentless attack in the Snake, beating the Ironman in the first game and barely losing a 1-point match to Impact. They then upset Revo by the Mercy Rule, and they took down Aftermath by 2 on Saturday, going 3-1 and punching their ticket to their second Sunday appearance ever. For any team to truly be in the hunt for a win, you need lethal contributions from the whole roster. And that's exactly what Energy Elite was getting from Kyle and Robert Bowen, Austin Buffton, Jason Dennis, Zach Geiger, Travis Trawick, and Elliot Weaver.
Yeah, Aftermath's looking pretty good. I mean, the game against them was a tough game. It was a good match. They played pretty good in the prelims. They struggled a little bit, and so we got to keep playing on their struggles and just keep hammering it on them. Keep bringing the heat, get ahead early, and they like to play a little slower game. So if we can get a lead up front, and just keep breathing, keep them on their toes.
Energy Elite here in the green, starting on the red side of the field. And two bodies, Kim blocking, 3 bodies coming off for Aftermath. Here's Caleb Abel's going on running a kill racket right now. Bottom side goes through the Doritos. They're a high volume, high paced game. Yep. They like to run at you. They want to push the issue.
Oh, the Energy player is getting pulled. He checked himself on the break. He got bounced on the break, but it looks like one broke too. So 2 Energy players taking a walk.
After 2 points, the game was tied. But then Energy continued to stack up point after point. The points were close, but Energy Elite's full field attack was on display, and they took a 5-1 lead with just 2:24 left in the match.
And there he goes. Caleb does just that, and he gets all the way through, and he shoots Kim. So Barrett came off that lane, and then Caleb just timed it perfect.
What a ballsy move, man.
Oh, Frank Tomaso getting flipped out of that spot. Here comes Mike Mesa. Mike Mesa trying to make a big move up that 50, and then here comes a little damage control done by Caleb Abel again. Oh, and then here comes Hallberg, after playing every single spot, ends up getting bunkered out by Weaver. And Energy Elite going to put another point on the board. So backs to the wall here, not looking good for Aftermath.
Aftermath scored 2 to make it look better on the scoreboard, but the lead would hold easily, and Energy Elite would advance to their very first semifinals appearance ever.
So Aftermath's going to win this. It's going to be a 3-point game with a little bit over a minute left.
So here goes
Aftermath right in the middle, dropping too early, Matty.
Yeah, they send Barrett all the way up the center, and he runs through, of course. I mean, what are you going to do? Castro, same thing. But they're going to score. They're going to get one.
Yeah, they're going to get one.
They got a chance.
Guy in the Utah College Ross home shooting.
You gotta go. Go to the fucking Dorito, bro. Come on.
Well, looks like they're holding the line right now and at least burning enough time. And we might see one more point here on the board for Aftermath, but I just don't know if they're going to have even enough bodies here to score this one. I don't think they are. So
wow, they just lost a 3-on-5.
So that's going to do it. Energy Elite hugs all the way around. Very first time we're ever going to see those boys in the semifinals, and they will be matching up with legends in this game and a team that looks dialed. The team that emerged out of the bracket of death is Tampa Bay Damage. So Energy Elite will have their hands full.
That's what wins tournaments, boys. We've been missing that for a minute. And you guys came out. 3 events. Straight up. Straight up. Take on that. Build on that. I am proud of you, boys.
Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Team squad. Let's go.
Came out pretty strong. We figured stuff out pretty early on Friday, and struggled a little bit yesterday, but we felt like we needed to be tested a little bit going into Sunday. So team feels good. We did our homework. Got our first match this morning, 9 a.m. Against Tampa Bay Damage. So I think it's going to be a dogfight. See you at 9 a.m.
You know, we're depth. We got depth, and we're contenders, and so we're coming to bang as always. I mean, that's what the squad brings, right?
Thomas Terrell, I love watching you play. Big fan of the squad, man. Travis Lemansky has just done such an amazing job with his brand and the team, building up a potential champion against. We're gonna have to see here at the Lone Star Open if Infamous can finally pull off that long-awaited win. Thomas, best of luck.
Yeah, baby. God bless.
I get 5 pods. 5 purple pods.
You know, going into Sunday, 2-2. So that's not normally the way, you know, a winning team would come into Sunday, but, you know, for us, with those 2 losses, those damn near 14 points in both of those matches, so you learn literally so much in those time periods. So coming into Sunday, we played Infamous again, but we had their concepts down and we were able to understand what they wanted to do.
Oh, but Keith Brown sneaks in there. He gets the shot cross field. Keith Brown is feasting right now.
Gets 2 pieces inside.
You know, Thomas is typically a snake guy. If we make the snake and Thomas is playing the center, he's now doing a job. And if I make the snake or Keith makes the snake, you're really killing their entire, you know, aggressiveness with Thomas playing the center.
Keyed up on Harrison a lot because we knew what he was going to do, and we keyed up on Thomas a lot. Thomas was playing the middle, so we made some adjustments in the middle with Brian and Holiday, where we wanted to be the aggressors on him and knock him out early.
3-1 the score. 10 minutes and 24 seconds left to go as Infamous dives Harrison Bryant and Snake 1. Damage losing a body.
Went up on them a little bit. They started to come back, and we were like, all right, enough of this sit-back stuff. Let's go out there to play and win. So we went out there and we played aggressive, and we just finished them off.
He's being very proactive, and awareness has been more posted. Oh, and Thomas runs out, and I think he trades, though. 33 seconds left. Ryan Hall has to win a one-on-one here and give himself enough time to run and hit the buzzer, so he has to engage.
Yeah,
he has to force an engagement.
He has to win this point and hit the buzzer where Tampa Bay Damage guy just has to stay alive for another 15 seconds.
Oh, and he gets shot. Look, man, Ryan had to engage. He had really no choice. So Jacob Edwards holds it down here for Tampa Bay Damage as they're going to take the victory here and knock Infamous out of the tournament. So
that was a stellar performance there for Jacob Edwards.
It tastes sweet, but victory tastes better. Job, baby. Let's go.
Hype each other up.
Let's go.
Hey, from now on, we are fucking perfect. From now on.
1% better.
It's discipline, experience, and what we've seen so far. Believe in each other. If you don't believe now, you're fucking lost. Let's go, baby. We are the real fucking deal. Let's act like it, motherfuckers. Hey, family on 3, family on 3, 1, 2, 3, family. Let's go. Let's go, Jacob Edwards.
You know, we got to improve that consistency, and that's what the Pro League is about, right? Those teams that are consistent. So we've got to up that consistency and just, you know, show out, play our game, you know, be tactical and strategic.
Since the New Orleans Hurricanes were only 4 games into their pro journey, and if history is any guide, they had no business making a Sunday this early along the pro road. But no one told the Hurricanes this, and they proceeded to turn this strange layout into an opportunity to get on the map. They blasted their way through the prelims with a 3-1 record, taking down New York Extreme, Level, and the ML Kings. They only dropped a match to Houston Heat. They would take on Impact in the quarterfinals. Impact had won 3 one-point dogfights in the prelims against Revo, Energy, and Aftermath, and they completely dominated against the Ironmen. Though their roster had lost elite threats, the organization had proven quite resilient, and their existing all-star core and recent pickups, Mike Zupa and Axel Godin, were playing so hard, they looked like a team that was once again out for blood and glory.
Axel brings a different type of finesse over there, just his gun skills are so crisp. His aggression was really big for us this year, especially losing someone like Mouse, who's a consistent bulldog over there. Axel, throughout the whole year, being a constant thorn in the snake. He's always in there, pushing down, and he really picked up that void for us.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. It's a beautiful day for paintball. This could be a really good set. Edmonton Impact taking on the Hurricanes. About to go down right now. Game on.
Impact struck first in their quarterfinal match versus the Hurricanes, going with heavy guns up and getting a kill on the break. Both teams battle for the center.
Oh, he goes here to try to get JC.
And he ends up getting him. Yeah, he did. He trades out.
Mike Zupa moved into the snake, and he got a crossfield kill which made it 4-on-2, and the point went to Impact. The Hurricanes answered in the second point, pulling up short to counter Impact's heavy guns. They shot Trevor Reeser early. After they traded bodies, Drew Bell got into the snake as the Hurricanes pushed up the field to tie the game.
The Hurricanes were playing well at that event. They were playing really well. They were pretty predictable in terms of their breakouts, but they were winning a lot of the games through communication. They were doing a good job in the late game, picking up a body here and there, winning down body situations. So I think our emphasis was not to give up the points that were up bodies. And so that's where I think the game started pretty close in the beginning. We won one, they won one, and then we started to run away with it towards the end there, just minimizing the mistakes, figuring out the pace of the game, where they were going, what their style was, and then we were able to slowly start to win the match.
With the next 3 points, Impact continued to shoot a body early, and then play aggressive, running the score up 4-1.
Complete control here in this point for Edmonton Impact to have all the ground.
There was still time left for a comeback, and the Hurricanes took full advantage of a penalty on Impact to stay in the game.
Here comes Bell's gonna launch though. Bell gets all the way into Impact's backfield, and he's just gonna blast Axel crossfield. So Bell getting it done here with maybe a little 3-pack to close, to pull within 2.
But then Impact's Justin Cornell had a big 3-pack in the next point to extend the lead again.
So as JC goes through the center, dices up a couple.
Ooh, that little 3-pack there for JC.
Down by 3 with 4:13 to go. There was still fight left in the Hurricanes, and they put up another point. But in the end, Impact was the more polished and effective team. They knocked out the rookie pro squad, and they moved into the semifinals to play Houston Heat.
Time expires, so Edmonton Impact taking down the young and hungry rookie pro team, making it to Sunday, but hey, tons of respect for the Hurricanes.
Yes.
It's a very rare story where a brand new pro team comes in and goes 3-1 and makes it to Sunday in their second pro event ever.
Though Energy Elite seemed to have the field dialed in, and they looked like a contender, this was the farthest that they had ever been, and it was unknown how they would handle the pressure at the last stages of a tournament. And they would need to get past Damage, who had just been through another war against Los Angeles Infamous.
At that point in the event, semifinals, you pretty much have everybody scouted out. As far as, you know, players, where they want to go, tendencies, all that stuff is pretty much mapped out. Now all you have to do is execute.
Hey Chris, I didn't go to the corner.
Coming from Energy, I know Energy plays very fast. They like to get in your face as fast as possible, as soon as possible. And I know Caleb likes to ride the line. I knew Caleb was gonna make the snake, which is completely opposite of me, so I didn't really have to worry about him as much. But I knew the way Caleb plays, he likes to make the 50 and play the wrap and come to your side immediately. So all I had to do was make the snake 2, force the center guy's gun, and then I knew he was gonna come to our side and we would wait on him. As long as Keith or myself can make the snake, they don't have a middle presence anymore because he's focused on us.
Into the winner's circle. See is it gonna be the rookies or is it gonna be the old school OG legends? We are gonna find out right now. It looks like first to drop a body is Tampa Bay Damage. Top side, here comes the counter move though, as Agent Smith's gonna get up there and trade out.
Ooh. The very first point, they actually got like a significant player body lead on us. I believe it was like me and Jared versus like 4 dudes. We pulled it out, you know, and both of us actually stayed alive too. Shot all 4, win the point. So from that moment on, I'm pretty sure the momentum just carried through that match. So it was our match to win and we took it.
Damage jumped out to an early lead, and they never looked back. Energy earned another penalty in the second point, and then, once Damage was up 3-0 with 8 minutes and 14 seconds left, knowing they had just blown a lead in the quarterfinals, they dragged Energy Elite into a series of long gunfights that ate almost 6 minutes off the clock.
They were giving us tough individual points, but we were able to come out on top of almost all of them. It's just one of those things, they're a brand new team kind of making it to that stage, so once they figure it out, they're gonna be good. The other thing too, remember Jason came back and he goes, they're already talking about they're like happy that they took third.
Damage made the win look easy. They knocked out Energy Elite, and they would advance to their first finals in almost 5 years.
Wow. So big opportunity here for Damage. Now this is a team, I mean, pretty much most of the players that are on this squad were on the team back when they won 3 events in a row between 2011 and 2012. But it has been a while since Tampa Bay Damage has been able to win an event, so.
I'm sure it would feel very good for them.
Get the fucking lead like we've been doing and hold that goddamn lead, okay? That's fuck that. You can't hold on this field. We need to hold by fucking putting it down their fucking throats and continue to stack that shit. 6-0, get some drinks, have some fun, stay on top. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, family of 3, family of 3. 1, 2, 3, bam! Let's go.
We were saying caution the tequila, and you were confirming that he was still there.
Yeah, I would pick it up too. Hey, be ready. They might try to run it.
Yeah, we're going into our semifinals match against Impact, and they've honestly been playing really well. They have a new squad. They also have a really consistent base squad that they've been going with, and they picked up guys that are gelling with them well. JC's playing really well, and I think we match up well against them. So I think as long as we go out and play our game, it's going to be a pretty bloody back and forth game.
I mean, I think the biggest thing with us is the rivalry between us and Impact. Just due to the nature of how both of our teams ran, both of our, management situations with Bart and Randy. When you look at both rosters on paper, like, they come with a lot.
You saw JC just fucking hit the ground and be like, motherfuckers on the snake side, Brandon, and let him figure it out, right?
Every time we play those guys, it's always a close game. It's always going to be back and forth, and it kind of just comes down to the wire on who wants it more or who's going to take that, extra bite to break open a game.
It looks like Ronnie and Chad both took a bouncer off the break.
Right now, Chad Georgie's had a pretty awesome event so far. Oh, but he looks out for the first stream.
Snappy from JC.
Yeah, great kill from Justin Cornell.
Start of the game, it's always going to be kind of jockeying for position. We won the first point, lost the second, and then we started to go on a run there. And I think once you get up points, that field was notoriously pretty slow. They figured out how to play it pretty fast. And we hadn't encountered that yet. And they were able to push through the gaps that we weren't prepared for, which gave them the chance to get back in the game really quickly.
Ooh, got him.
Night.
There's that snapshot.
Yeah.
Ooh, get your head down. Yeah, he's gonna shoot him right here.
He's
Boom, and see, there's that shot that I was talking about.
A couple kills back and forth as Dizon takes a walk, and then Zach Hill gets shot by Chad. One at a time. It's not going to happen though. As Chad Boucher with a great point here for Houston Heat as they were trading kills in the closing moments of that point. Now it's got ourselves a 1-point game.
4 minutes left.
Here he goes. He's gonna try to release. Ooh, it doesn't look like he got.
No.
Oh, he didn't get him. Maybe.
Realizes he needs to move up. So
oh, got him.
Up. Oh, and it looks like they trade. So 2-on-2. But just as that happens, major penalty assessed on. It's going to be on Everton Impact, and that's going to be terrible for them because they're not only are they not able to protect the lead, there was only one body to pull.
Down, yeah.
So they're going to start with 4, and it's going to be a tie game with 48 seconds left, and that definitely gives the advantage to Houston Heat, because Houston Heat, time and time again in these situations, has stolen wins.
That field was hard to break, like it really was, and we were in good positions to hold it off just those 10 seconds that we needed, and that gave us just another chance. We had a tough break, and we were able to go into overtime.
Heat needed another 5 seconds maybe in order to steal the victory.
Or possibly a working scoreboard.
Field, ooh, Zach Hill taking it early, death going into there.
So JC gonna try to get out there, but the Impact risks it. They send Axel to the snake off the break, and he makes it clean. Tyler trying to get that inside kill, and then fights his way into the 50. Tyler Harmon looking really good right now.
Ooh, Tyler gets shot in the foot.
Axel got in, makes the move to the 50, and shoots Tyler in the foot, and then.
Welcome to the most important day in all of tournament paintball. It's Sunday here at an NXL event. We're at the Mid-Atlantic Major here, 2023. Matty Marshall alongside Rich Telford. And after the dust settled in the prelim battles in our wild card round, it's going to be Tampa Bay Damage taking on Revo here, Rich, and Houston Heat taking on Notorious. So congratulations to the rookie pro team Notorious here, making it to Sunday.
Yeah, they did better than they expected to do.
Yes, they had, look, you always have high expectations in your head, but you have to be humble and you have to be honest with yourselves. Are we actually really ready to win a paintball tournament?
Ready to play
where are we really? But goal accomplished made Sunday. They did draw a very angry and frustrated Houston Heat. Houston Heat does not want to be down here in the wild card round. They would have loved to have just had that berth in the quarterfinals and have to worry about having to win 4 games in a row to win this event. Dynasty did it at the last event. Also here in this set, again, Damage and Revo. This is 2 events in a row, Rich, that Tampa Bay Damage has been down in the wild card round. They were able to knock out Impact last time, but I'm sorry, they got knocked out by Impact last time. So your thoughts here, we're going to see Damage, Revo. Do you think Revo has enough? Revo, scrappy, able to make it through?
I do not.
Was very close.
Yeah, I don't.
Revo going 2-2, just barely made it in.
Yeah, and they definitely have the ability, right? They're just not playing well at this event. I don't know if it's the field or if there's something going on in practice, but they're not looking as good as they have in the past.
But again, steps, right? Levels. And the 2 first events of the year, 15th at both of those events for Revo. So this is a much better showing for them. They are starting to dial things in. And they learned a lot of hard lessons in the prelims. So did Tampa Bay Damage, as Tampa Bay Damage also dropped 2 games, one of them to Energy Elite, who kind of out-damaged Damage. And that was a really very strange match. But Energy Elite wasn't enough for them. That was their only win, so they went home. Dynasty and Impact and Extreme and X Factor waiting in the quarterfinals. That'll be the set coming up after this. Here we go. Point number 1, Sunday's battles is, looks like Revo diving Caleb Abel into the snake, and then they're going to launch Geiger up the middle on a delay. Didn't shoot anybody, though, but Damage didn't shoot anybody either.
Damage takes a big bite, Matt. It goes all the way to Dorito 3, running and shooting.
I like that. I like that play call. As so much pressure has gone here towards the snake side that take a big bite on the D side, right?
Yep, Revo's already damages snake, Maddie.
Yeah, Caleb Abel getting some good penetration here. Snake side, they're going to have to figure out a way to deal with him.
Here comes Rainey from the snake corner into the snake 1 insert.
Well, Rainey's been very crafty, no surprise, over here on the snake side. And then Keith Brown has also been very proficient on the snake side.
Kind of a longer 5-on-5 point here.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit more what we're going to see today on Sunday, right? Everyone kind of holding it back a little bit, figuring out what they can do, where they can get away with it on the break. Oh, Abel pushed a little bit too early there. All by himself, completely isolating that snake, goes forward into 2 or 3 damage guns. And that's what Damage is so good about, forcing you in a 1-on-3 gunfight or 1-on-2 gunfight, where even though they're amazing gunfighters, their teamwork doubles up their ability.
Yeah, you got to know your enemy, and if you're playing Tampa Bay Damage and you are at the 50-yard line, snake might be to your team's benefit for you to just chill for a little bit, unless you have a back to shoot, essentially. But it does look like
the walk.
Yeah, Omara, tough gunfight loss for Omar, going to even up the count, or actually make it worse here. And there goes another body dropping.
Rainey is feasting. Yeah, Damage does a good job of lulling you into a sense of that you can go through the gap, but there's not a lot of pressure. You engage in a gunfight with one of those guys, you think you had an advantage, and another guy comes out and gets you, and you're like, oh, they got me. It's the old bait and switch.
Well, it's all started with Caleb, right? Caleb great job, gets in the snake, gets that penetration. I mean, he's a very relentless player. But the problem is when you're playing Damage and you notice
you know, or you should hear from the codes, hey, okay, it's 5-on-5, but there's no one in front of you. They're still kind of in the backfield a little bit. Well, they're kind of, again, like you said, lulling you into a false sense of security because they have that zone, and then Caleb loses a gunfight there. Maybe got shot on a bounce shot, but regardless, comes off dead, and then Amara immediately loses a gunfight about maybe 30 seconds after that, and then that was curtains up.
Well, what the successful teams are doing is when a snake guy gets into the other team's snake, instead of sitting in the backfield and watching that guy and hoping he shoots everybody, they get in the snake with him. Some guys have 2 or 3 guys in that little cluster.
Yeah.
Omar and whoever was in the snake insert let Abel go play all by himself, didn't support him, and then try to deal with the consequences. He first one on the break.
First Sunday here, Notorious, and they're going to be losing a body. But they shoot a body. Ryan Smith takes a walk. 4-on-4. ABJ getting all the way to the 50 Fortress here in the snake, and Chad George. Oh, and he just... Archie Barnes Jr., beautiful job, wraps around. He beats Chad George into the snake structure and makes Chad George pay.
3-on-3, Matt.
But
down the drill side.
But then ABJ wraps right around into a ball. Gotta be a little bit more composed than that.
2-on-3 advantage for Heat. Marky Franz taking the walk. Just Harris Hussein left for Austin Notorious. Tyler Harmon releasing snake side. Just kind of cruising down here.
Tyler Harmon is
time this way.
Tyler Harmon. Harris is in a bad spot. There's not really much Harris can do.
He
does trade. Tell you what, tip of hat and respect to Harris Hussein. He playing, you know, he basically got cut from New York Extreme / quit, or I don't know how you guys want to call it or what the official story is.
Oh, no, he's a quitter.
Okay, so, but he leaves. Extreme is starting to go on a run, looking the best they ever have. He goes to the Russians, doesn't get much play time, and then decides to go play with the rookie pro team Notorious, and he played really well this weekend.
He did.
He played real well.
To be fair, he played well in practice also. Hopefully he can stay away from getting those penalties in those crucial moments and continue to be a leader for the team and support Ryan Gray.
Yeah, so Heat still has
Mishka's trying to figure it
Mishka.
out.
Yeah, Mishka and Fedorov out there. Where's the last body for
What's
Notorious?
your favorite vodka? Oh, that is a good vodka.
I was like, are we missing a guy? Because I'm pretty sure that's 5 dead. So that's going to do it. But since Heat's going to go up, they're just playing it safe. Because Heat was a little hit or miss in the prelims.
Well, and in my kind of opinion, you know, generally speaking, the best thing that could happen for Notorious is to come here to your first match on Sunday and just get destroyed.
That's the best thing that could happen.
So then you're like, okay, hey, that's the bar, right? That's where we have to get up. It's not like, they just barely beat us. We're pretty good enough. We can compete with all these guys. We don't need to work any harder. The best thing for that team is to come out here and get smashed and be like, oh, man, we got to go home and work harder. We're not working hard enough because we're not the same level as these other teams. That's the best thing that could happen for them. Worst thing short term, best thing long term. Damage. Break it out from the blue side of the field. Revo's got to figure out some offense here. They can't just have Caleb Abel going forward and everybody else hiding in the back. Revo spreads the field, 5 across the back. Damage going to the first baby Dorito.
How is Revo going to respond here? They can continue to play offense. Are they going to try to...
Omar taking the walk early again, Matty. Really struggling out here.
Yeah, got to tighten it up a little bit if they want to prevail against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay up by 1, a lot of time left, on about 2-minute point in that first one, and then here comes Tampa Bay Damage, taking some ground snake side to get Keith Brown. There goes Baltimore Revo. They dive into Snake 1. Body coming off from both teams from that D side as it looks like Benny Carroll, so that's now just 3 bodies left alive out here for Revo, and then Chad Bouger taking the walk.
Yeah, 4-on-3 advantage here for Damage, Matty. They got 3 across the back and Keith Brown in Snake 2. Looks like Rainey in Snake corner, Jason Edwards in the back center.
There's a battle developing here on your screen in that big snake structure with Keith Brown on your right-hand side. And I can't see who's in front of Caleb.
Yeah,
Caleb's at the insert bunker, and he's shooting cross field, trying to keep that D side honest. But I don't, does Caleb know that Chad's dead is what I'm wondering.
I can't tell. I hear a lot of communication on the Damage side. I don't hear much on the Revo side. Revo's got Caleb in Snake 1, the Dorito corner, and the Dorito 3. Is that correct, Matt?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And Damage, 3 across the back. Now releasing from the corner is Jacob Edwards. Going from the corner to Dorito 2, Dorito 3 over there.
So now Caleb's going to have something to shoot. So Caleb, for the past maybe 45 seconds, Rich, has been zoned up on that D side with no one to shoot because they shot Chad. Jacob was still in the backfield, essentially. Now Jacob's going to move up into D3, so he does have so he's been posted very patient on this zone. Let's see if he can get this kill.
Yeah.
Nope, instead Caleb's going to get shot. So that's
waits there for 2 minutes, doesn't shoot, doesn't talk, and then gets blasted on that zone. I was just going to say, you've got to play those bunkers more proactively. If you lose this vision out here and you don't know where the guys are, you can't just assume that they're going to go where you want and make the spot.
Keith Brown gets across, And they're going to trade out here in the snake as Velez. Rob Velez, best move of the prelims with a 5-pack.
Yeah, and I think the message of the day, Matty, and we talked about this yesterday, I think you coined it, is you don't have to win the snake battle, but you can't lose it, right?
Yeah.
So Rainey's not going to win the snake battle, right? But he's the last guy over here. Everyone else is dead on the team in front of him, so he's going to win the point.
I mean, he could win the snake battle if they give him a little bit more time, but I definitely agree. Because, it's like we were talking about how it's a fortress, it's a forest of bunkers. It runs almost the entire length of the field, so a lot of options over there. If there's no one in front of you, then you're going to be on their side, essentially really putting the pinch on guys. So, yeah, you can't lose that battle.
And resource allocation, right?
Yeah.
If the other team is putting 3 guys in that snake and you're putting 1 guy in that snake, how fair is that to your guy, right? He's got to go out and bang out with 3 dudes every point. And they, and they have 3 in there at once. If you got 1 in there at once, your first guy dies, your second guy tries to get in there, he dies. Your third guy tries to get in there, he dies. You're just battling uphill the whole time.
In the pits with Tampa Bay. Let's listen to him real quick. It does look like, since they dropped 2 games, that they're going with just a straight starting 5 for Tampa Bay damage. Houston Heat also going with, looking like their starting 5. It's going to be Konstantin Fedorov on that D side, and he's going to delay, shoot a stream in a lane, and then dive out into D3 here pretty quick. Mishka, his brethren, right beside him at D1. Ooh, but Konstantin Fedorov getting shot out of that spot. Tough death for Fedorov.
He was gunfighting pretty heavy inside there. Even when you're that good at gunfighting, if you don't get him on the first couple of whips. Oh, cross field shot there from Mishka.
Yeah, Bulls get shot.
Yeah, all the way from the Dorito, small Dorito into the snake, Matty.
Connor Kelly getting a spin, and he's into snake 2.
4-on-4 here.
Got a body in front of him. Here comes the battle, Marky Franz. He also had a beautiful 4-pack run through to help get Notorious into Sunday. And then does have Connor Kelly right in front of him.
Mishka taking the walk, Matty. Houston Heat down to just 3 players left alive.
Houston Heat needs to tighten it up a little bit. I mean, they got a 1-0 lead, but it's just a couple deaths from that D side.
Connor Kelly being very proactive, going inside, outside. Tyler Harmon feeding Kelly information so that Kelly knows what to do and where to do it. Notorious players are trying to figure out where the bodies are for Houston Heat, what they're doing. Harris Hussein's moved out of back center. He's playing the spot can now.
Crucial moments here. Can Notorious step up and win another gunfight? Ryan Smith had got out wide, or a little bit more wide on that D side after those deaths in front of him with Mishka and Fedorov walking off. So nice fill out for Smith. And then Tyler Harmon is behind Connor Kelly.
Both teams with 2 players over here on the snake side. In the exact same positions. Snake 2, snake cans. It's Harris Hussein and Marky Franz for Notorious. It's Tyler Harmon and Connor Kelly for Houston Heat. Houston Heat also has Brian Smith in the Dorito corner. Cannot see who's in the corner for FSU, but FSU, a player attacking now into Dorito 4. 4-on-3 advantage here for Notorious.
So Connor's blocked out from that D4 position with that brick. He doesn't have to worry about it quite yet, but he is going to have to worry about getting shot in the back of the head if the player can make the move across. And he is going to make the move, but Connor switches his gun at the right time. He knows he has to go. Here comes Connor Kelly. Connor Kelly's going to launch. He's going to stitch up 1, but then he's going to get eaten up and bonus balled a little bit by Harris Hussein. And then on that chaos, Tyler Harmon filters out wide. Snake side.
4-on-3 to a 2-on-2, Matt.
Yeah, 2-on-2 situation. That was a smart move from Connor. He knew he couldn't live in that spot anymore, so he either had to retreat or move up, and he went up, and then he caught. Ooh, beautiful shot. Who shot?
Crossfield Dorito.
Tyler.
Yeah, Crossfield Dorito was inside.
Good instincts here as soon as Harris seems to know the count because he's wrapping around. He knows he's not feeling any pressure. He knows the body in front of him is dead. He already shot Connor, so those 2 bodies have come off.
Yeah, just trying to
he's trying to find Ryan.
Dorito he's in, yeah.
He's going to find Ryan. He's going to find Ryan, and he's going to get that crossfield shot. I'll tell you what, Harris Hussein is not the fastest guy, but I don't see him miss many shots. He doesn't miss many shots,
or the smartest. But he's a good shooter.
Well, Notorious answers. Harris is like, okay, let's just make sure you're clean first, kid.
And Harris didn't get chirpy after that point, which I'm sure Ryan appreciates.
Harris played very smart in that one.
Yeah, great close.
I mean, Markey ended up getting bunkered out by Connor. That was a beautiful move by Connor, but Markey just happened to be looking inside when that happened.
Good timing by Connor.
Great job by Notorious, though. Couldn't see who that was, but I think it might have been Ty Bateman breaking things open from that D side, because that's where it started. Is Harris making a business call right now?
Yeah. He's got things going on. Buy high, sell low. No, sell low, buy high.
Buy, sell.
Got a lot of things going on, right?
He's like, yeah, I would love to save some money on my car insurance. Thank you for giving me a call right now. I
My
appreciate
warranty's
that.
almost up. Babe, did you know the warranty's almost up on the car? Revo down by 2. Just kind of scratching their heads. They're not winning the breakouts. They're not making any moves. They're getting shot out of the bunker. They're getting beat to the key spots. They're not winning any aspect of the game.
Jeez, Rich. I mean, just, you know, call it like you see it, I guess.
Just being accurate. They do take the small Dorito on the break, so they get outside, and it looks like they do win this breakout.
There's Tampa Bay damage from that red side. They're going to be losing that body from D1.
Maybe Revo can turn this around. Tampa Bay damage is in a very defensive posture here with 3 inside the pocket. If Revo can keep them inside the pocket, keep Keith Brown and Rainey out of the snake, Revo will have a really good chance of winning this point.
Got big Jason Edwards with his signature hip shot.
Keith Brown right into the snake. And now Revo, with no one in the snake, has to move into the snake with Jason trying to keep him out, Keith already in there, and Rainey trying to keep him out as well. They put themselves in a real disadvantage. He does get across the gap. Did have some yellow paint on his leg when he went across, but that's not there anymore. Looks like he made it in there clean. Mara secondaries from the back center into the snake insert. Or maybe that's Velez, I can't see. Good communication over here on Revo, trying to figure out how to go forward. Caleb Abel. They know that Keith Brown is in there, but they have no idea where Keith is at. Good fill to the corner there from damage. Caleb Abel now going forward into snake 2. Gets shot with a cross shot, Matt.
Those are the deaths that can't happen, man. You're playing damage, you're up a body, and just cannot be getting shot in those situations.
Omar,
you want to win paintball tournaments.
4 on 4 here. Damage player in back center. Just baby Dorito.
Revo still does have a body here in the snake with Velez.
Snake insert.
Amara back behind Velez. This is good to see Velez playing as well. He is with his first tournament back with Revo.
Yeah, they've been putting Omara in defensive positions, and he hasn't been producing a lot. I think they should put him in more offensive positions.
He's been in there a bit, though. Yeah. He hasn't played defense the whole time, but the thing is Velez is playing really well, and then Caleb's really aggressive, right? So Omara is the most seasoned guy. I understand why they're putting him in that position, because then he can, you know, flip the script and play the attacker. But, I mean, we've seen him thrive so much as that bruiser, that wrecking ball, so it's tough to see him in a back bunker. Like, come on, Omar, you're one of our best attackers in the league. Well, Velez getting shot out. Keith Brown taking over the attack on the snake side. Does Keith know that Omar is right in front of him, though?
Probably not, but Rainey's backing him up. Damage is doing a really good job of, from the Dorito side of the field, putting pressure on the snake side of Revo and getting kills from Revo from the Dorito side. You know, the snake guys aren't killing the snake guys. It's the Dorito guys cross-shooting. Keith Brown retreating. Rainey's on the outside. Oh, Revo's got another player over on the Dorito side, Matty.
Yeah, a little retreat.
So 4 on 3 now.
Yeah, a little retreat back to the wedge. Edwards comes out. Jason Edwards coming out to help out Rainey and Keith.
Yeah.
So Chad's on an island over there? Or is there a fifth? No, yeah, he's on an island because Jacob left early.
Yep. And this is, I think, the way this is going to play out, Matty, where you get 3 guys over here on the snake side, right? And 1 or 2 guys kind of island balling center/center D. And then whoever of those 3 guys wins the battle on the snake side is going to win the majority of the points. And that's the bottom line.
I was just wondering how much the field's going to slow down today. And it really hasn't slowed down that much.
Yeah.
A little bit. It's always going to slow down a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and everyone slows down, but when you have a snake that you can take on the break, right, it kind of changes that dynamic a little bit.
Yeah. And a snake that you can take on the break, but also shoot on the break, and then
fill secondary.
Yeah, there's a lot of options out here on this one. I like this layout. This layout ended up being good. Ooh, Omar getting caught, trying to scurry back. That forces another retreat here from Revo, and damage is dictating the pace of the action here.
Yeah, and again,
with Rainey and Brown.
Super hard to get into the snake with Keith Brown and Rainey there, and Jason Edwards as well, right? Like, if I get through one of those dudes, I've still got to peel off those other 2 dudes. The chances of that happening are really, really, really low.
Yeah, it's just, again, it's frustrating for Revo because they shoot a body.
For me.
They shoot a body on the break, so they're up a body. So it's 5 on 4. They're down by 2, and they just can't find a way to keep the bodies alive and get consistent offense out here. Damage has just been.
How can they capitalize off that, Matt? When they shoot somebody on the break, how can they capitalize?
Well, so that's every time you drop a body that's off the break, it's 5 on 5. Well, that's 20% less firepower you're looking for, which means, okay, that's 1 less guy shooting at you. get up the field.
Yeah, and so what position do we shoot out? What zone does that guy control on the field, and how do we take advantage of that, right?
Well, and then, again, Caleb then gets clipped trying to get across, so I like the aggression, so he was trying to get up the field, but when we say, hey, get up the field, that doesn't mean just recklessly run up the field.
Don't run up and die. Get up there and produce.
But again, Damages is so good at that, right? Anyway, jumping back into this one here, 1-1, 10-23 left to go, and both teams immediately attacking the snake.
Big bite Dorito side from Ryan Moorhead. 2 Notorious players taking a walk, ABJ and Marky Franz.
Chad George sees those bodies coming off and feeling a lot less pressure. The rest of the Heat players going to start getting in the mix, moving up the field.
Chad goes from back center to the center brick. Great fill there. He's putting a lot of pressure. Harris Hussein now in the spot can. Yeah,
Chad Boucher getting a spin. Heat having survivability issues that last one and not so much on this one, and no one's safe out there. Camera takes one. You can see the good communication from Tyler Harmon.
Camera.
Yeah, and the bodies are just falling everywhere here for Notorious. This is a great point for Heat.
Yeah, here goes Chad George feasting. Gets 2. Looks like he's going to get this 3rd.
And that forces the concession. That was a great point. I would probably spin that line again.
Why not? Why not?
We got Ryan Moorhead getting a spin, Chad Boucher. It was Chad George on the snake side.
Yep.
Tyler plays every single point. Ryan Smith out there as well. Yeah, essentially for Coach Tom Martinez, the Rock's Tyler, and then he's been filtering pretty much everyone else in around him.
Ryan Gray said the referees are doing an amazing job and they should keep up the good work. Sounds like he's a really big fan.
Now, is that really what he said, Rich?
I mean,
is that really what he said?
I'm paraphrasing.
Just a summary? Just a quick summary?
Like, hey, listen, I have so much respect for you guys and you're doing such an amazing job, but you could do just a slightly better job. I don't think he's mad at him, he's just disappointed.
Yeah, so Houston Heat. Always parental advisory every time we cut to the pits. Houston Heat looking, again, still just a little hit or miss at this event, but that last point was definitely mostly hit. They look really good out there. So now we're going to see if Revo can step up and do something against Damage. Damage is just in full damage mode right now. Control probably very frustrated. They're back in another wild card round match here.
Well, and Joey at one hand probably is really happy right now that they're just on cruise control, smashing everybody, but they're probably also not super happy because when they roll right through Revo, they're not maybe learning that lesson that they need to learn if they're going to go play, Dynasty or whoever else is in front of them.
Well, on this side of the bracket, it is Damage and Revo and Heat and Notorious. That's the wild card round we're watching right now. Whoever wins in the Damage and Revo game, point we're watching right now, will play the Hurricanes. And then whoever wins in the Heat and Notorious game will play Diesel, Dynasty, and Impact, and then Extreme versus X Factor. That's the set coming up next. So we got it. This is going to be a really, really fun day at Pro Paintball.
Yeah.
I love
Cannot
Sundays.
wait. Taking the walk early, first Revo player from the D side. 5-on-4 advantage for Tampa Bay Damage.
Referee going to pull out Revo from and a penalty, and that is just a little
5-on-1 now for
having a really rough morning here.
Yeah. Geiger getting shot out early, going up the gut. Just really challenging here for Revo. And again, though, this can be a good eye-opener for Revo, right?
I'm a big fan of Caleb Abel. I think he's got elite level type skills that I would like to see him have elite type performance on a Sunday. Because as it stands right now, if you can't count on your first attacker in the snake, and he's getting shot out either out of his spot and he just got a penalty there, or getting shot trying to make transitions, or and then the one game he did stay alive, he posted up on the D side with no one to shoot for a good 45 seconds, and then by the time Jason went up there, I think Jason did get that crossfield shot on him. So
I think there's 3 problems there. I think number 1, Caleb Abel not being consistent. Number 2, the guys on the team not supporting Caleb when he does get into the position. Number 3, the coaches not addressing those 2 issues.
I'm not putting it all on Caleb at all, because a lot of guys are dying around him as well.
It's clearly Caleb Abel's fault.
Well,
don't defend him.
The first attacker on the snake side on almost, I'd say 95% of layouts, he's the most important guy on the field. Because he dictates what everyone else does.
100%.
So a body coming off.
Especially on this field, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to win this battle over here. You can't win the battle if the first guy walks out.
So I think it's Bateman taking the walk. Yeah, Ty Bateman taking the walk from that D side here early as Connor Kelly. So looks like they go back. So Todd having confidence in this other line sends Connor Kelly back out.
See if ABJ can make his shot here. Wraps on Tyler. I don't think he knows that Connor's hiding inside that cut. If he wraps around too far, he'll find out. ABG's getting some pressure, looking inside now. So I think he does know that there's a snake player. He just doesn't know where he's at. Tyler's not giving ABJ anything to shoot at. Yeah, they're communicating well between Tyler and the snake player for Houston Heat. Showing exactly where he's at. Look, the Houston Heat's got 4 bodies all pointing at ABJ here, right?
Yeah.
Both guys on the Dorito, Tyler Harmon and the snake guy are all 4 out of 5 guys who are on the 50 snake. A lot of pressure here in ABJ, and all he's got to do is stay alive, right?
So Tyler, Ty Bateman's their killer on the D side. If they shoot ABJ, if Houston Heat can get a shot on Archie Barnes Jr., with the amount of bodies they have left alive, okay, with the 1-point lead with 8.5 minutes left, or 8:15, this would be massive right now. Got to shoot Archie Barnes.
And Archie Barnes is doing the smart thing here. He's just staying alive. They're trying to bounce it off the back shot into him, Maddie.
Yep.
But he's just staying alive, not dying. Marky Franz should fill up and get a little closer to him.
That bounce shot is legit. We have seen probably 6 guys. That's the first one we've seen out of him today, with the death out of that back center. So they haven't shot Archie Barnes yet, but they definitely took out a big support player here from Notorious by winning that gunfight. Ooh, but Ryan Moorhead gets shot trying to move up on the D side.
Yeah, I think that's Hubert over there moving from the corner to D and gets the kill on Ryan Moorhead. Now makes the next bump into the Dorito 4.
Yeah, but Ryan Smith gets out into D3, and those front 4 Doritos are outset on that sideline, and that's the gunfighter's paradise over there, and Ryan Smith wins his gunfight. Beautiful job by Ryan Smith.
Hubert taking the walk now. 2-on-3 advantage for Houston Heat, Matt. Marky Franz taking the walk. 3-on-1 advantage for Houston Heat. ABJ, the last soldier for Notorious. Gets his kill on Tyler Harmon.
Does get a kill on Tyler Harmon, but unfortunately for him, he's looking at 3 bodies still, so he's going to have to be a hero right now.
He's got it. He can do this. Oh, man, if he would have just stayed looking inside for 1 second longer.
So he trades out with Connor. No penalty assessed, but Ryan Smith blew up in that D side, and that was part of the big story here in this specific point. So great job by Ryan Smith. And that's going to extend Houston Heat's lead a bit. Still some time left for Notorious, though, but good execution for Houston Heat.
Again, I'm just worried that this might send them the wrong message.
Who? Heat? Notorious?
Notorious.
Yeah. You were hoping the good old 6-0 mercy rule?
Yeah. Give him a good slap in the face.
You're not ready yet.
Go home, work harder, right? Because that's the best thing for the program. Last thing you want those dudes to be like, hey, we're here.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I say best thing for the program would be a dub in the finals.
Yeah.
First pro win
That
ever.
would be better, 100%. Not sure if that's capable. They're capable of doing that. Slightly less good than that would be, you know, getting wake up. Revo really struggling here. What do they got to do, Matt?
God, a lot. They need to do a lot. That's what they need to do. I'm like, where do I start?
Don't hold back.
Starts by, Caleb needs to stay alive and be proficient and deadly here in the snake. Everyone else behind him needs to stay alive. It would also help if they could get some forward progression on that D side, get up in D3, D4, and press the issue. It's tough. You're just going into these damage guns. Damage now is a 4-point lead. There's 6 minutes left. Point spread means nothing on Sunday. So look for damage to just take some decent spots and play damage paintball. Tighten it up, be really hard to dig out, win gunfights, control zones.
I like this better. They've got Velez and Caleb Abel both in the snake together. Now Amara's in the back watching over them, so they have the advantage here, snake side. They're doing a good job of getting the kill on Tampa Bay Damage's first Dorito over there, so 4-on-5 advantage for Revo. 3 attackers now on the 45-yard line, 50-yard line, Matt, and that's the way to win this game. You don't win this from the back line, you win this field from the front line. Keith Brown now filling from the insert into the snake, looking inside. He'll look to shut down the Doritos from there.
Yeah, body coming off right now for Revo. It's Velez, and he's shaking his head in frustration because he knows the ship is sailing on their chances. Benny Carroll also running off dead, and Damage is doing everything correct here in this one.
Squandering a high body, high position situation.
I'm positive that Joey Blute was probably very verbal in his frustration that they were yet again playing in another wild card round, which they lost at the last event to Edmonton Impact. They did not want to do that.
Yeah, they got a good draw this time.
Yeah, Damage is a team. I mean, they won Texas last year. They took 2nd place at World Cup, 2nd place at the first event, and then struggled a little bit at event number 2, and here they are again in the wild card round. So they coming into 2023. Damage was thinking, okay, we're gonna be the team to step up,
Cruise control, baby.
We're gonna take down Dynasty. That's our goal. That should be everyone's goal right now. And and overall rankings too. So this is a really good look for Damage early on in Sunday. They will, if they win this one, they'll move on, and then they're gonna have to play the Hurricanes. Now the Hurricanes did beat Damage 5-1 at the last event in the prelims. That was the only game that Damage dropped in the prelims.
O'Mara moving from the snake corner to the snake spot can to the snake insert, just trying to find a spot to support Caleb Abel. Caleb's trying to get some kills across the field, but they're down on score, they're down on time, they're down on position, and Damage is just super calm, cool, and collective. 4 bodies outside, crossing up the field, playing Damage paintball. Revo might, if Revo doesn't care about the, this point, they should just concede it because they're not going to win it. A lot better chance of going out there with 5 bodies and starting over. And what I liked about Revo at this point, Matt, is they got the bodies in the snake. The bodies in the snake just didn't produce, right? You've got to get in there. You've got to kill people. You've got to make the guys in front of you gunfight you, engage you. You've got to get those guys off the field. You can't just get in there and then hide.
But the problem is that the Damage doesn't want to get in any gunfights right now. They just want to watch zones.
They are the best team in the world at not getting in those gunfights.
We're like, okay, cool. If you make it to my zone and you score a point, okay, great. Now it's 4-1. You only have 3.5 minutes to work, or 3 minutes, however long that would take. So, and they could do that again 3 more times, still take the victory and move on. So they've done enough already.
Yeah.
And so it's almost, I mean, it's not impossible because we've seen this before historically, but man, it's almost impossible that Revo's going to win this game based on who they're playing, the situation, and the time and the points.
I'll give Revo a chance. It's absolutely impossible for Revo to win this game. Now they have a small chance of winning.
Oh, I see. Yes. Yeah, Rich.
Before that, they had no chance.
Yeah. Rich sometimes will call it before it's actually over.
100% of the time.
Realistically, you only do that like once or twice.
Yeah, but it was big. And now you can see because Caleb and Omar are both looking for targets, and there's just nobody to shoot at. They're standing over the top of their bunker. They're moving from spot to spot. No one's shooting at them. They can't see, and they can't see packs. They can't see goggles. They can't see hoppers. There's just bunkers out there.
Come on,
bunkers
man. Somebody gunfight me.
Yeah.
Damage is like, no, we're not going to gunfight you. Yeah. Run through this zone.
And what Maddie means by zone is the gaps in between 2 bunkers. They're not shooting at the guy in the bunker. They're shooting at the gap that he has to cross to get to the next bunker, which makes it very hard for the Revo players to move around or to go forward.
Just time ticking off this clock. And
we're going to be on schedule today, Maddie. We're going to be on schedule today. Caleb now finally going forward into the 50. Maybe should have done this like 15, 20 minutes ago. Not going to win from the back of that snake. He's got 2 players in front of them. They're both looking inside. He needed to make his shot on the back center there. Jason Edwards, he missed his shot. Caleb's got to kill Jason Edwards. If he can kill Jason Edwards in the back center, he can run both players down in front of him, leaving Omar in a 1-on-1 or 1-on-2 over there on the east side.
Look how tight Damage is playing into these spots.
Oh, he gets it. He gets
it, but it cost him his body. That's all right.
Great shot, but Caleb unfortunately trades there.
Yeah, it's frustrating. You see Caleb in the slow walk off. It's frustrating, but at least he had to engage. He had no choice. He was doing what he had to do.
Yeah, 1-on-3 advantage here for Tampa Bay Damage now. Omar, the last player left alive for Revo. And as a coach, I would have wanted to see Omar up the field attacking here, not kind of running backwards or laterally in a 3-on-1. Try to go win when it's a 3-on-3 or 3-on-4. Don't wait until the game's basically over and then start running around and engaging like you're in the game. And Omar takes the walk from the D side, struggling here today.
Man, almost a perfect game here from Damage.
Keith Brown looking good.
Yeah, everyone's
looking good.
Everyone looking good.
The only thing I think might hurt Damage is that they're probably not making any adjustments off of this game because they're playing so well. And the team that they're playing against might have to make adjustments in their next match. They might be a step ahead of them going out.
Well, the Hurricanes are absolutely dialed. They went 4-0 in the prelims, and they had a big win in overtime against Houston Heat. They emerged as the best team out of the Heat, Hurricanes, ML Kings, Ironman, and Notorious bracket. Yeah, smiles and some happy faces in the pits for Tampa Bay. Houston Heat and Notorious, though, after a pretty long break. 10 seconds go before the start of this next point. Notorious there in the white, starting from the blue sides. These teams, they switch sides when points are won. They will stay on the side if there's a no point. No point would be everyone gets shot and then the buzzer is not hit. On the breakout, Notorious still, this game is not in the bag for Heat yet. 6:47 left to go. Both teams drop a body. Fedorov taking an early walk again from that D side, and Bulls here from the snake side for Notorious. Marky Franz is doing surgery on his gun in the back corner bunker. Harris Hussein alive.
Notorious with 2 attackers D side, beating Heat to the punch over there D side. Harris Hussein moving from back center to the snake insert, now into the I mean, for the snake can and the snake insert.
Until
Chad George is already in that 50 snag, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, until Markey gets his gun up, it's basically Harris by himself over here.
Yeah.
Looks like Markey's done doing surgery.
Harris uses that athleticism to get into snake 1. He's going to try to catch Chad George slipping. Good communication with Tyler Hardeman, called snake, snake, snake. Somehow he saw Harris get in there. Oh, Notorious player from the D side taking the walk, Maddie. 4-on-3 advantage for Heat as they attack in the snake with Chad George and the Dorito side as well. Marky Franz looks like he got his gun up, Matt.
Yeah, Marky Franz is definitely shooting paintballs, but the problem is they're losing that entire D side. So
Harris is going to try to go trade out here. Yeah, Harris and Chad George trade out. Harris shaking his head a little bit.
So it's going to be Markey versus Tyler Harmon over here on this snake side. Sam Monville getting a spin. He's still at D1 controlling with, I think that is Mishka in front of him.
See if Markey can get lucky here, get a couple quick kills. If he can kill Tyler in the snake corner, at least he can kind of live on this side of the field. But Tyler's now sharking. He hears Markey's gun. He's looking for the move.
Yeah, Markey's in a really tough spot.
Yeah, Markey's in a lot of pressure here and a tough spot to gunfight out, especially with guys on both sides of the field, especially with those two guys being Fedorov and Harmon.
Yeah, I mean, they should have conceded this point. Once it went to 1-on-3 with about 6 minutes left, they're still not conceding the point. Okay, now Ryan's going to concede it, but yeah, it went to 1-on-3 because after Harris traded out with Chad, 1-on-3 situation. I mean, Markey's good. He's good enough to be a hero, but man, that's just a really low percentage chance that that's going to happen. And then now you're going to be down 3 with, instead of 6 minutes, they're down 3 with 5 minutes. Houston Heat controlling zones, winning some gunfights, looking pretty good here. Getting and not really going with the starting 5, getting reps for everybody.
Yeah, I know that, we've, as a sport or whatever, we've always switched back between, power line, 2 lines, blah, 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 blah. But as a coach and as a player, I think the 2-line system is just superior. Everybody can't pull it off. But if you can afford to do it, it just gives you such an advantage. Damage dropping 2 on the break here, Matty.
Yeah, Damage trying to take a little bit of ground here with this massive 5-point lead.
So now they're starting to play for that next match. They're trying to figure out what they can do next match. And because of that, they're going to lose a couple points, possibly.
Well, there's 51 seconds left.
Oh.
Does look like they're probably going to lose this point because there goes Jacob. But here comes Agent Smith. Brian Smith hunting up the center. Wow, no one shot Brian Smith. Brian Smith's going to get the Mercy Rule win. He's got to hurry and hit it, though. Oh, Brian Smith. So chaos sets in, and Omara, Bernie Carroll, lots of bodies dropping here during that attack. They did chew up Damage real well, but no one saw Brian Smith sneak up the middle of the field.
Apparently there's a there in the middle of the field, Matt, that no one could see you when you jog up the middle. He wasn't even like moving quickly either. He was just kind of cruising.
So Damage will advance to play the New Orleans Hurricanes. And still waiting to see, is it going to be Heat or Notorious as we're in the pits with Damage. Let's listen in real quick.
Right in my gun, bro.
Yeah,
Tell
so
those fast points when the pod runners go out and they only pick up like 1 or 2 pods.
Yeah, you could see that was hilarious to look at Brian Smith. He's looking around like, wait a second, everyone's dead.
Oh, cool.
Oh, you're just gonna let me just saunter up the middle of the field, get this last 6 point. Perfect.
No one's even gonna try to shoot at me.
Sounds great.
Houston Heat, conservative breakout, dropping 1 out of back center.
Yeah, losing Sam Monville here early. Also going to be losing Ryan Moorhead. Ryan Moorhead trying to get out. I think he might have got shot on the break trying to run out to that tower.
Yeah, 5-on-3 advantage here for Notorious, Matt. As Harris Hussein goes out of back center to Snake Can.
This is a big moment for Notorious. They got a 2-body advantage. They have 4.5 minutes to score 3 points. They need to start pushing the issue.
We got 2 NorCal guy here, Tyler Harmon and Archie Barnes Jr. both battling. These guys are from the same area, come up, kind of know each other pretty well. Both real good gunfighters. Tyler probably slightly better. Tyler in a better position to gunfight in that stand-up. Archie looking to apply pressure. Like to see Archie move forward here if no one's stopping him. Give him a better shot on that Dorito side from Houston Heat side of the field. Archie just staying here a little bit long. Like him to be a little more proactive here. Marky Franz now on that center brick, cutting down the DO side. Harris Hussein decides to, instead of going into the snake to back up Archie, goes into the center bunker with Marky to cut down the snake side. We got a running referee, Matty.
Yeah, referee gonna come look and maybe check out Tyler. Actually, he's just getting an inside look at Ryan Smith.
Yeah. Harris now with
Harris comes in and he stitches up Ryan Smith's head and he's gonna launch. He's gonna bunker out Connor Kelly. Connor Kelly saw where Ryan got shot from and switched at the perfect moment to at least trade out. But that's still
nice move for Harris.
Yeah, beautiful little 2-pack up the middle for Harris Hussein. And then here comes the swarm of bodies moving forward. They're gonna polish off Tyler Harmon and run in to make this a 2-point match.
Make it interesting, at least.
Guys, check him quickly and hit that buzzer. You need every second out here. Points good. 3 minutes and 7 seconds left. Notorious playing scrappy out here.
It's their first time on Sunday, Matt. They might not know there's also a clock on Sunday, to be fair.
Hey, done. Hey, where the fuck are you guys? Keep fighting! Same 5, come here.
So
we're going back out.
Calling same 5.
I got quite a few. You need from the outside? I need 1 pot.
I have a concept I'm going to throw at you.
Break it
He
down.
gets a penalty instead of going out the next game with 4 guys. You get 6.
Yes, sir.
But the caveat is, you got to send that dude.
Oh, I thought maybe he gets a pump gun or something.
No, he gets to just you're like, all right, it's normal breakout, but Matt, we'll call it Davey. Davey, go to their 30-yard line, shoot as many of them as you can before you walk out.
So it's like the 6 is required to run to a 50-yard line.
Cannonball, just a cannonball.
Yeah, and he only gets 1 pod.
Yeah, no pod.
No
hopper.
pod. Okay, just a hopper only.
Yeah.
Okay.
He can't get to a.
But a
bunker.
regular gun though.
Yeah, of course a regular.
Okay,
gun.
I was thinking maybe. How about you give him a whole pack, but he has to have a pump gun.
No, you're ruining it now. You're ruining it with.
No, I'm just trying to steal it from you. I'm trying to make it my own.
Take it.
I like where you started with
got
it.
more.
I like where you started with it, but it's kind of a weak concept. I'm trying to build on your weak concept and make it cool.
Sounds like the last 30 years of our lives. Notorious coming out to the blue side of the field. Got to feel good about that last point. Gotta also think that Houston Heat's maybe gonna come with a little more fire at this point. Harris Hussein really kind of helping Notorious first to get to Sunday and now to win some points in this match.
Well, you can't always expect to shoot 2 bodies on the break, and when you do, you need to take advantage of it. Well, they did shoot 2 bodies on the break. They took advantage of it, and they did score a very relatively quick point. Now you got to
Harris who shot both of those guys.
So hope that you get those kills again or a kill. Yep. But if you don't, you better be prepared to start running into those lanes because the result will be the same. If it's 5-on-5, the principle is the same. You need to continue to push up the field. Oh, ABJ getting shot off the break.
Early.
Great job by Archie. By I think Tyler to put that ball on ABJ.
Marky Franz now becoming the snake guy. Harris Hussein filling out back center to snake cam. 4-on-5 advantage here for Houston Heat. Chad George is not in the 50 snake yet.
Marky's another guy who's not that small, but he's really athletic.
He moves well, and he's got good timing. And he gets lucky, takes a hard bounce directly to the forehead. Good combination of good athleticism and good luck. Marky's inside 100% though, so there's no one protecting him snake side. If he gets to the 50 snake and wraps, Marky's gonna be in a tough spot. Harris Hussein with a good fill out to the corner. Tyler Harmon goes from back center to the spot bunker on the snake side. One more player for Notorious attacking now from Dorito 2 to Dorito 3. He's got a player behind him in the Dorito corner supporting him. 4-on-5 advantage here for Heat.
Yeah, this is
up by
really,
a couple points.
Really good situation here for Heat. They have a body in the snake. He's looking inside, and they're just trying to burn clock right now. And then here comes a move on the D side. This is what we're talking about. Those points need to happen fast. Unfortunately for Notorious, though, it's a major penalty. That's going to be a huge gift to Houston Heat. Just a little too much over there. I can't really look at, yeah, you don't want to get penalties at this point in time, but at least they're trying to make something happen, man. This is a rookie pro team making it to Sunday. Very impressive that they even made it this far and putting up 2 points against Houston Heat. Unfortunately for them, now it's going to be a 3-point spread as Houston Heat puts up point number 5 with just a minute and 31 seconds left, and that is going to force Austin Notorious to try to score 3 30-second points. So look for this next one after we are in full Xball, so 2 minutes in between points. Look for them to just ride that reckless edge, full court press,
for sure.
up the field, no choice.
Mishka is clocking in for Houston Heat every point. Every point he's out there just doing work. It's so good to have a guy like that on the team that you can just rely on.
And they just got him back.
Yeah,
they hadn't had Mishka. Such a
Yeah.
consistent guy. He's, it's like Yo Shrow on Dynasty, right? Barely ever dies early, always in a good position, can close points out, shoot bodies on the break.
Ridiculously good looking, great dancer. Yeah, and we were talking about how Houston Heat's been the second team in the world without Mishka. And maybe Mishka's that little bit of help that they need to get back up to first place.
Yeah, it's been a solid year, I think, since they've had Mishka back. He was here at the beginning of last season, but I think Texas was his last event.
23, 57, 85. If Misha's gun's working, if somebody needs it.
Notorious coming back out.
I'm probably guessing that, because they do need 3 in a minute 31, that if I'm Heat, it'd probably be a good idea to maybe fight fire with fire here. Maybe send out a Chad Boucher, have him run up the middle.
Or Ryan Moorhead.
Yeah.
Is that 3-3
yeah,
running
but just also go with an aggressive game plan. The most important thing here for Houston Heat, though, no major penalties. Minor penalties, that's fine, whatever. Those will come, but no majors.
Survive the breakout, no penalties.
And if you're unaware of how the penalties work, when a player is hit, if it's a minor, there'll be a yellow flag thrown in the air if it's a major. So if you're hit and you shoot somebody, the red flag will be thrown, and that will pull out 2 bodies. A minor only pulls out 1.
My favorite line yesterday from Carl was, "I don't like the rules."
Who does, Carl?
No, Carl, that's not the way the rule goes. Well, I don't like them. It's like, me either, buddy.
And Houston Heat seal it up here and try to work through this minute and 30 seconds left and move on into the quarterfinals. Here comes the attack from Notorious as they launch bodies forward, but we're seeing a sea of white jerseys walk off here for Austin Notorious. So
the right idea, just poor execution.
So it doesn't look like there's going to be an upset in this wild card round, and the favorites will be moving on.
5-on-1 here. Houston Heat put a lot of pressure on the penalty here.
Penalty going to be assessed on Ryan Moorhead.
Like I said, though, only a minor.
Yeah, only a minor. I couldn't see if it was on Smith or Moorhead, but those are the 2 bodies walking off.
It was Moorhead 100%.
Yeah, but it's not going to matter because there was only 1 body left alive, it looked like, and then now no bodies. So that will be a victory for Houston Heat. So Houston Heat is going to move on and play AC Diesel in the quarterfinals. Diesel making a Sunday for the first time in 2023. First 2 events. They only went 1-3 in the prelims and just had a ton of struggles. They decide to get rid of A-Rod and then bring Mike Hinman in, Big Mike, as a coach.
2 big changes.
So, and things have worked out nicely for them. They had a real solid prelims.
They look decent for a new up-and-coming team.
Yeah. And then now they're going to have to get through the second best team in the world, Houston Heat. Also, Tampa Bay Damage has advanced to play the New Orleans Hurricanes. But before we get into those quarterfinal battles, we're going to give Damage and Heat a break. And it's going to be San Diego Dynasty playing Edmonton Impact and New York Extreme versus X Factor. And Extreme went 4-0 with a +20, kind of just brutalizing everyone that they played, including Edmonton Impact. So just an amazing performance out of the boys from New York. We'll see if they can bring it to Sunday. So that's coming up next here at the 2023 NXL Mid-Atlantic Major. I'm Matty Marshall, and we'll see you in just a few.
Did they say what it was? No, literally. Your eyes were
Bottles on, my field.
Every event has a bracket of death, where fate forces a lion's share of the league's top killers into harsh battles, just to survive, just to make it out of the prelims. Because only half of the league plays on Sunday, and Sunday is the only day that matters in pro paintball. At the NXL Lone Star Major in 2023, the top 3 teams overall all came out of the same bracket. And in the final battle for the win on Sunday, it was Houston Heat versus San Diego Dynasty, a rematch from the second major event last season, where Dynasty dismantled Heat in a 7-1 Mercy Rule victory. This time the finals would be a more contested story. Though Heat and Dynasty's roads to Sunday went through the same bracket, the roads to the final match took different routes. Since the COVID break of 2020, San Diego Dynasty has been driving a stake into the hearts of the other top teams' dreams of dominance, winning more than half the events. But what has made this run so special is the adversity that they've faced along the way, and Texas was no different, as they dropped their very first game in the prelims on Friday against Infamous. Though Dynasty had a clean run through their next 3 games, including a 1-point win over Houston Heat, they still ended up in the wildcard round, which meant that they would need to win 4 straight matches on Sunday to tie the record of 3 major event wins in a row. Three-time world champs Houston Heat are the most consistent team in paintball. Second overall in 2022, and they didn't miss a Sunday. They haven't won an event in 2 seasons. Heat's only stumble at the Texas prelims was a 1-point loss to Dynasty, who now sat on the other side of the Sunday bracket. The Houston Heat would need to get through New York Extreme and LA Infamous in order to get a chance to get revenge and hoist a first-place trophy again.
Team ball all day, all fucking day, team paintball. Pass that ball around.
Dynasty's first fight early Sunday morning in the wildcard round would be against the ML Kings, who they drug into the deep water. After going up by 1 early, the veterans showed masterful control, grinding out a point that ran over 10 minutes. And then they held off a last-second attack by Kyle Berry, with the iron wall that is Marcelo Margot stayed alive, and they got the shutout win. Next up for Dynasty in the quarterfinals was the sophomore sensations, the New Orleans Hurricanes, who looked refined and deadly in their prelim wins against Revo, Damage, and Diesel. But Dynasty, even with low bodies, shut them down at the start of the game to take the lead, and they then grinded out another long point, which was clinched by Ryan Greenspan getting a shot on Aaron Pate, who played on and drew a major penalty. The Hurricanes pulled within 1 in the next point when Daniel Camp beat out Chris Shear in a race for the buzzer, as they both blew up in their sides. With 150 left and down 1, the Hurricanes still had a chance, but Dynasty shut the door on their event, as Blake Yarber shot the snake off the break and then also stitched up Stuart Ridgel, and combined with Mike Urena to absolutely punish Camp as the last body left alive in the snake. Old-time enemies, Dynasty would have to get through X Factor yet again. They built up a 2-point lead in the semis by shutting X Factor snake side down, controlling situations, burning clock, and winning gunfights. But with less than 5 minutes to go, X Factor came roaring back to tie the game by taking full advantage of 2 consecutive Dynasty penalties. And then with less than a minute left, Mike Urena and Chris Shear almost stole the win. Urena needed another half second, and the game went to overtime. Dynasty knows to beat X Factor, you have to shut down Billy Bernaccia on the snake side, and they were able to take him out off the break again to go up 5-on-4. Urena got into the 50 snake, and as time was ticking down, Marcelo Margot filled over at the perfect moment to catch Colt Roberts for the crucial kill. Dynasty had knocked out X Factor yet again. Heat fought a close war against New York Extreme in the quarterfinals, as Extreme had absolutely destroyed everyone that they played as they ran through their prelim division undefeated. He'd had a rough start in the first point, losing a high body situation. But then they tied it up after Chad George got a kill in the snake, and then they stopped Pat Kraft Jr. from pushing down the D side. He played offensively in the deciding moment, getting a kill off the break and sending everyone to the 50-yard line with a minute left in the game. New York Extreme had no answer, and Heat moved on to the semifinals. Houston Heat barely beat Infamous in the prelims, and their contest in the semis would also be a low-scoring tactical battle. Though Infamous looked poised to put up the first long point, with Zach Patient showing off his crafty skill in a low-body situation, watching Chad George's shadow while he creeped up for the kill. And then veteran Callie Rudolph ran down Ryan Smith, but after the chaos it was 2-on-2. Joe Barrett attacked towards Ronnie Dizon, both gunfighting with little paint left, and Tyler Harmon used this distraction to run down Patient. He'd extended their lead in the next point, when Infamous couldn't make the most of a high body situation, and Ronnie Dizon and Tyler Harmon clocked in again as the last 2 bodies alive. The team burnt off enough time. Though Thomas Taylor made it through the full send gauntlet to put a point on the board for Pride, Infamous's tournament was done. They would have to settle for a respectable 3rd place. Unlike Philadelphia last year, the final match in Texas would not be a blowout. Instead, it was a blow for blow and move for move game, and as it turned out, penalty for penalty, as both teams tried to exert their will on each other. Dynasty got off to an early lead with Urena and Greenspan clearing out the Snake side. Then, Heat took 2 unanswered points for the lead when Dynasty drew 2 penalties in a row.
He's going to get 1, he's going to get 2.
Wow, big
beautiful move, but no, but it's going to be a major penalty assessed on Blake that's going to pull out Marcelo.
But Dynasty, starting with only 4 bodies, pulled it back from the brink when they shot Chad George and he drew a minor as well. Dynasty played tight, they played perfect, and they kept all 4 bodies alive, and it was all tied up.
Another body coming off right now with Ryan Smith, Yoshua hunting in the center, and just dominant performance here. 4 bodies started this point for Dynasty as they were on in a deficit, and 4 bodies end for Dynasty.
But then there was another penalty in the next point, this time on Greenspan, helping give the lead back to Heat as Dynasty was forced to concede quickly to preserve time. There was 4:30 left on the clock, but Dynasty, undaunted, tied it up again in the next point.
Tried to make the move out, and as soon as that happened, it was just Ronnie Deason left alive. That forces the coaching staff here for Houston Heat, Pat McKenna and Tom Martinez, to concede. Just speed crawl up to the 50-yard line.
Alex is hunting down the Snake. He's going to try to go forward, listen to find out where Chad George's gun is at, and try to get Chad George without dying. Number 1 priority, get Chad George off the field. Number 2, try to do it and stay alive.
Oh, he's not scared to go. Alex Frazier is going to come around, stitch up Chad George, and stay alive.
Doesn't get better than that, Matt.
Beautiful job by the legend Alex Frazier, but he does get clipped on the way back, but he did his job to get Chad George off the field. It looks like Tyler Harmon's going to get shot. Actually, they trades out with Blake, but Ryan Greenspan in a good position to attack.
Gonna go get him. Oh.
Overtime point here. Ryan Greenspan frustrated that he was not able to try to put the team on his back yet again.
In the end, it was decided in overtime, where San Diego Dynasty, extending their reputation as monster gunfighters, were able to win a 4-on-5 after losing Mike Urena off the break, as Marcelo Margot, Blake Yarber, and Chris Shear were all alive on the field to win the point and tie the record of 3 wins in a row, after Tyler Harmon ran Ryan Greenspan down in desperation. It was a close game, but San Diego Dynasty took down Houston Heat and won their 3rd consecutive tournament, with new heroes emerging in their ongoing story and led by their legendary veterans. Dynasty proved yet again that they are the best team our sport has ever seen. Paintball history is at stake in Philadelphia, as no team has ever won 4 major events in a row.
Who you kidding around? All that hating still can't bring me down. Matter of fact, look how I'm living now. Can't give you figures, it's a big amount. Spanish woman with me sipping crown. I'm just here to have a look around. Get to work, I'm here to lift some pounds. I'm on another wave, a different sound. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George. I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse. I'm ready for war. I'm coming for throats. To turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver in silence, then let them in, chalk up their body, another one body, that's just how it go. I got some secrets, I'm shaking the game so they stay on their toes. Stay in your lane, how to stay on the go. I can play with the pros and act like a rookie, so they overlook me. Then I double up again under their nose. None of them cold, they just got lucky but never adapted. So I'm to the one if it's coming to blows. My enemies cutting it close. I let them think that they got me, but what do you know? I had them beat before we ever spoke. I'm ready for smoke. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where. I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George. I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse. I'm ready for war. I'm coming for throats. To turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now they ain't go harder than me. They need a blade and a sheath, a shank and a piece, a crate full of heat, an army, a fleet, a tank and a jeep, a navy at sea, where they some marine, an ace up their sleeve, a team of marines, a freak on a leash, a beast with an appetite, razor for teeth, and still they will lay at my feet. Boy, you got the wrong one. I gotta look over all of my publishing statements for Q1 as soon as the song.
Welcome back, 2023 NXL Mid-Atlantic Major, and we are into the quarterfinals. It's going to be San Diego Dynasty, the best team in the world. They have won over half of the events in the past 2.5 years, and they're playing Edmonton Impact. Edmonton Impact went on a little bit of a baby run, though, last season, winning 2 in a row before Tampa Bay Damage rose up, took second, and it's been a contention back and forth, second best team. So right now the question is, who's going to take down San Diego Dynasty? Edmonton Impact has a chance to knock them out in the quarterfinals. That's going to be the first point we see. Also in this set, it's going to be New York Extreme taking on X Factor. Compelling stories there. We're going to be discussing those as we get into that first point. I'm Matty Marshall, and I'm stoked to have Ryan Gray, coach of Austin Notorious, who made a Sunday here just fresh into their pro careers, man. I mean, that's a cool story, no matter what happened in the game that just went down. And also Rich Telford up here to help call this set. So jumping into point number 1, as San Diego Dynasty takes on Edmonton Impact, looks like Harrison Fry going to be the first to drop, so it's going to be 4-on-5, though Edmonton Impact might be losing their back center. Referee getting in and check out as Pat caught a hot bouncer.
Yeah, hot bouncer.
Yeah, as Impact launches up the middle with Matt Jackson.
Yeah, he takes a hard bounce going in too, Matt.
No, it's going to be maybe, I thought for a second they might be pulling a penalty on Matt. I thought, why would they be pulling a penalty?
He had that look, yeah.
Yeah, but so it looks like going to be 4-on-4 right now.
4-on-4 as Archie.
I don't think the ref was going to pull a penalty. I think he just wanted to lay down.
But you saw the little thrust out as he was starting to go back towards Impact's line. But yeah, just wanted to take a little rest down there.
Axel gets in the snake. So does Marcelo. Archie backing him up. Nick Laval backing up Axel here. So 2 on the snake side for both teams.
Yeah, Paintball is such a game of adjustments right now. You lose that first attacker, what do? Well, next man up. As Axel, so no one in that snake right, or no one in the center, as Axel gets into the snake right now for Impact. He's going to get to that 50 Fortress and pop up. Got to be very careful on that bounce shot. Ryan, that bounce shot from that angle has been pretty lethal out here this weekend.
Yeah, Axel's so smart, though. He knows there's nobody in a space right now that can shoot the bounce shot. With the guy in the brick there, heads up, on the Dorito side. There's nobody who can shoot it right now. So
Axel might have just got caught cross field from that Dorito.
Oh, I think the ref might be looking at that massive amount of rub on his floater. It looks like rub, though.
Yeah.
He's in a gunfight. Oh, and then Axel eats up Archie Montemayor down the sideline.
That's rare.
Yeah, you almost never see that happen, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Marcelo with a great trade.
Ooh, Marcelo almost, did he get 2? Oh, Marcelo definitely just shot Nick Laval.
Yeah, Nick shot in the arm.
Nick is definitely shot in the arm. There's no penalty going to be called. Oh, it looks like the ref is running. He's shaking his head. It's going to be a major penalty and a rare major on Marcelo. He doesn't get many of those.
Man, that's a tough penalty because Marcelo got him with his first ball and looked like he stopped shooting, but obviously ref's perspective.
And Marcelo's so disciplined, and all of the Dynasty guys, it's just rare that they ever get a major penalty.
A major, I say. Yeah. Sometimes they get a yellow, but almost never get a red.
Yeah.
And you know what they say? If it's red, you're dead. So Skinny Kevin's probably going to have something to say.
Yeah, that was a little bang. It's kind of tough to tell. I mean, we had a decent angle on it. I mean, trades.
They review all the majors, so
yeah,
they'll check it
I
out.
couldn't quite see. Again, with Marcelo running this way, I can't see his front, so didn't see where the paint came from that first engagement. But that was a beautiful, accurate shot on the run that he made on Nick Laval. I didn't know where that hit was. Was it Nick that cut him in half? Was it a really trade? It's kind of tough to tell with how fast that went down.
It looked like it was Nick that shot him, but he also has this, giant mini win right in front of him. So Nick couldn't see him until he stepped way out here.
Yeah.
Well, jumping into point number 1 with New York Extreme and San Antonio X Factor.
What a cool story here from New York Extreme. They are actually, this is what's interesting with this specific battle, both these teams are tied for 3rd place overall, 311 overall points. We're still now midway through the season. But so I mean, you knock out the team you're tied with, that really is going to help out your overall standings.
Will Hennessy taking the walk early for New York Extreme. 4-on-5 advantage here for X Factor as Billy Bernacci gets in Snake 2.
Yeah. Does Billy ever get shot going in?
Never.
Okay.
Well, when X Factor struggles is when the opponents pick on Billy. It does happen. I mean, Dynasty's done it quite a bit throughout the past couple seasons. Well, it looks like Billy might have licked into a ball, and he did. So that's another thing we don't see a lot out of Billy. We don't really see Billy in a first engagement look out into a ball
Corey
like that.
Hall running and shooting from the corner into the Dorito. That was an incredible shot there. 4-on-4 now as New York Extreme ties the match back up.
Yeah, that was a massive kill from Corey Hall. And now Meter has to get into better position as his first attacker is dead in front of him.
I like Meter moving forward, but I'd like to see him moving forward to try to get into the snake, not move forward to try to play defensively from that snake insert, because it's going to come down to who wins the snake battle. CJ Cantor now looking inside.
Pat Kraft going to move up a bunker and get to that lay down door in the center. He's going to look in front of Corey Hall, who's on that Dorito side.
I'd like to see CJ figure out how to get himself into that snake, or Josh Taylor how to get himself out of that back center here. They're both at a disadvantage here.
Yeah, Corey Hall's in a little bit better field position as he's in D3. X Factor's in D2, but they moved TJ Danner into that wedge, so he's in a little bit better position to protect and stay close to, I believe, Parrish. Yeah, LJ Parrish.
Yeah,
now going to mirror the move.
Yep.
And once you get to that D3 position, you are now outside wide.
Yep.
All those positions, those four bunkers up there, those 4 Doritos, that's a gunfighter's paradise. You're completely mirrored up down the line. We've seen a lot of guys individually step up, win gunfights down that sideline to then take over that attack on the D side.
Well, and LJ had to get out there and match Corey down the side. Otherwise, Corey would just run a rack.
And he can just wrap and control, wrap and control. Yeah, it was a great fill out there for LJ. 4-on-4 for both teams. Let's see who makes this first mistake. Neither team with a player in the snake. Both teams with 2 guys on the D side. Both teams with the back center.
I was trying to figure out why Meter was, sucked up like that. And there's nobody in the snake.
Yeah, I'm surprised. They might not know there's no one in the snake. Every once in a while someone sneaks in there, no one knows, and he gets 2 or 3 kills. So
yeah, especially this one.
Yeah. TJ Danner, though, in a very good position now. Oh, fighter, finally Meter goes and somebody catches him.
Great zone control from New York Extreme. I mean, they're just putting paintballs in the right place at the right time here in point number 1.
Yeah, 4 advantage now for New York Extreme.
Clipping out Billy and then controlling that zone and shooting out Meter. And now it's going to be up to the D side here for San Antonio X Factor. Can Parrish and Danner get it done? Mikowski's on an island at the spot can right now, snake side.
Josh Taylor has the ball here. He's got to switch from defense to offense in this 4-on-3 advantage.
Yeah, it's a 4-on-3 advantage, Rich and Ryan, but the problem is for Extreme, yeah, cool, they got an extra body, but they're still a little out of position in the backfield right now. They're going to have to move up the field. They're not completely out of position, but they're not in an attacking position to utilize this extra body right now.
Certainly not on the snake side. And they've got no one in snake side, right? Look for X Factor, slowed him down over here. Cody Mikowski's in the snake side camp, but he's looking and shutting down Corey Hall on the D side.
Well, both CJ and Josh, more often than not, have been doing a fine job of filtering up the field. And you can see CJ's body language. He's going to communicate cross field, but he's loosening up a little bit. Looks like he wants to move out of that spot can. Has to worry about TJ Danner cross field. Mikowski's mostly just shooting towards that D side to try to help out LJ as Corey Hall again trying to get a little creative out of D3, backs up off that spot to get a different angle, and now him and Parrish are going to get in a gunfight. Parrish is going to concede that gunfight and look inside.
CJ Cannon gets himself to that corner. That's huge. Josh Taylor gets himself out of back center to the spot cam. PK positions from the Dorito to the small Dorito to support Corey. 3-on-4 advantage here.
I feel like Josh should have probably released through the middle there.
Yeah, Josh it's something we're working on with Josh. He's really good at doing that after we drop a couple bodies. He struggles to do that when we have a couple bodies there because he wants to support the guys around him instead of be the guy.
He's that intelligent. He overthinks things.
He's too
much.
Smart. He's too smart.
He's really good when it's the chaos. That's when Taylor thrives.
Yeah.
One-on-ones, chaos. When he has to he just has to believe in himself and make a quick move without thinking about it. He's
heavy
excellent.
On that artist side of that.
Yeah, but when you have that extra body and there's all these different possibilities, that's when it's a little bit slower for Taylor. But, again, that's just part of the progression as a player.
100%.
He's so good.
Yeah, he's real good. I'm not knocking him too much.
This is the lesson he has to learn, right? He has to come out here and see that, oh, man, everybody thinks I'm good. Everybody thinks I can do it. Maybe I can do it.
Yeah. And he needs to begin to get that confidence where he understands, I'm a big player. This is a big moment. I'm going to go win the point for my team.
Yeah. And I can, my guys believe in me. And if I don't do it this time, it's okay. They're going to support me, and I'm going to figure it out and do it next time. Eventually, it's going to happen. We all believe in Josh. Anybody who knows Josh knows he's an amazing guy, incredible snap shooter.
He's just so good when the chaos sets in.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, trust your instincts, man.
For sure.
They're really good. So right now, Corey Hall just moved up into D4.
Got backcraft inside of him in the wing communicating.
A little bit of a lull in the gunfighting here as everyone's trying to put it together. 2 evenly matched squads. Again, these teams are tied for 3rd overall.
The guy who has to stay alive here for X Factor is Cody Mikowski, right?
Yes.
Cody Mikowski dies. New York Extreme flies down the snake side of the field.
Oh,
LJ Parrish takes the walk.
Parrish gets shot inside. I think that might have been CJ. Somehow a coast-to-coast shot, and then Mikowski is going to get shot out of the spot can as well, too, and that is going to make things pretty easy right now as it's just TJ Danner, and he had dipped out into D3, and then now he's going to get shot as well, too. Nothing Danner could do in that situation. So, man, great gunfighting display out here from New York Extreme as they are about to take a slight 1-point lead after a pretty long point once they realize that they have already done all the work they need to do. What?
Yeah, I see Ryan down here. It looks like the towel button's not working, so he was trying to towel it, and
it's like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I saw him kind of over there getting frustrated at the button, and then took a walk over here, and I could see him. You know, Ryan has a look about him when he's walking with intention, and he had it.
Yeah, he's trying to get some time back on that clock.
Yeah, and he should.
Yeah, he should. I mean, they should definitely get whatever seconds he felt.
I don't think they should get any time.
Yeah, we do have Rich Telford, the coach of New York Extreme, up here, so you know he is going to be a little biased.
A little bit.
As somebody that used to coach San Antonio X Factor to success, Ryan, maybe a little subconscious bias as well too. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
I honestly, I'm pretty conflicted. Colt grew up playing on Texas Storm with me. It was kind of his first real team. So, and obviously then coaching them and finding some success with them as a group, I want them to do well, but I also love the story of NYX, right? And I love the parity that they've come in and been able to create. Obviously being a team trying to do the same kind of things, watching another team above you do that, and like them and the Hurricanes doing what they're doing, it's really exciting for a young group.
It's very inspiring.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So jumping back into point 2 here, Edmonton Impact with a slight lead over San Diego Dynasty, and it looks like Dynasty is going to be running both lines. They ran 2 lines through the prelims. Both lines did very well. I think line 2 dropped 1 more point, but we're talking about, okay, they dropped 2 and the other one dropped 1. It's not that bad at all.
Arturo taking the walk early for Dynasty, Matt.
Well, off the break shots are dialing in right now for Edmonton Impact. They keep 2 in that backfield, and then they're going to get Zach Yakimek out of that spot. Former MVP award winner Zach Yakimek, good to see him back.
Blake fills out to the Drita corner for Dynasty.
So Impact still pocketing up, not risking anything. Mikey Arena going to launch.
Great move for Mikey to get into that snake before Axel. Axel sees his move and matches it, but they lose Yakimek.
No, that's Brandon. Brandon Cornell. Uncharacteristic early death for Brandon Cornell. Here comes a battle going down in the snake as Impact going to filter a body in and try to find a way to hunt Mikey Urena. Urena outside wide on the sideline trying to wrap around and get a free kill. He's just going to trade out with Axel. But Oliver Lang on his return, World Cup Finals MVP, and one of the greatest ever, if not the greatest. And he is in a good position to try to get in the snake. Laval's going to beat him in there, though. Laval's going to hit the deck scene. A lot of crawling out here this weekend, and Laval's going to crawl into that outside snake, too. Yosh Rao comes out to help out Lang.
3-on-3 here, Matty?
It does appear so, yes.
Dynasty's got 2 snake side with Oliver and Yosh, and Blake on the D side.
Little bit better field position with Laval at that outside snake, too. But then again, Dynasty is outside a little bit wider on that D side with Blake Yarber at the tower. Yakimek has just been posted up at that lay-down door looking D-side for a while. Now Lang is going to crawl up into Snake 2. You can notice how he does not hit that bunker to telegraph his move. He's looking for that inside route. No one there to shoot it, so he's going to be able to get to inside Snake 2. And looking to crawl up into the 50.
Oliver's always been super creative.
Yeah.
Ooh, Raul checks Laval. Laval was thinking about doing what Oliver just did, but Oliver beat him to the punch, checks Laval in. Laval's going to call that code crossfield and let them know that Oliver is at that inside snake 2. Raul has just been pumping paint over Oliver's head for a good 45 seconds.
Years.
Yeah, for 15 years.
Yeah, for 15 years. Just been pumping that paint for 15 years. Oliver and Yosh communicating really well. Oliver looking inside, trying to create some kills from the inside of the field. Yosh fills out to the snake corner so he can control the tape.
Great move.
Yep.
Really smart.
Understanding and illustrating that they understand how to play this field. Oliver's got the inside cut. Yosh's got the outside cut. Blake is just going to play island ball, stay alive over there. Yosh and Oliver are going to work together to find one player that they can kind of double team. They're going to put pressure on that one player as they stay alive, kill that player, and then come through this side. Blake releasing now from the corner to the wing.
Blake's going to give Blake a little bit better inside look here to try to keep Laval honest if he decides to launch on that inside move. Oliver's going to go outside to the 50 Fortress as Yakimek makes his way slowly but surely with a couple nice moves to get out to the tower. Oh, Laval eats up Oliver Lang, and that's going to turn it into a 2-on-3 situation. Oh, but then a crossfield kill here on Laval. Matt Jackson gets out wide to mirror up the move with Rao, and it is a 2-on-2.
Yosh and Blake communicating really well. And what Dynasty does better than anybody is that at that point, they did just use Blake, but at that point, Matty, they had 3 guys working against Laval in the Snake. You know, 3-on-1 basically.
They had Matt Jackson with the beautiful crossfield kill there on Blake Yarb, and that puts Yosh Rao in a tough 1-on-2 situation. He's going to go back to the center of the field and try to have his opponents lose him. Goes actually all the way across to the tower, and Matt has no idea where he is quite yet. Matt picked him up now. Here comes Matt Fuzzy Jackson. He's going to get into the 50. Yosh is going to come all the way back over. They're just letting Yosh run all over this backfield untouched. And then they finally pick him up. But, I mean, Yosh is just trying to get creative out there. You actually should feel some freedom in a low body situation because you're not supposed to win those.
Right.
Well, and Impact knows they're a point up. They don't have to do anything.
Yeah. That was a close, hard-fought battle here. So now the best team in the world, San Diego Dynasty, backs to the wall, down by 2. And that point did eat a little bit of time up off the clock.
I feel like Matt Jackson is always alive.
Always in a position
so good
to win the point.
He is definitely, I mean, not only is he one of the best players to ever come out of the great state of Texas, he's one of the best players in the league, and he's been that way for a while. But again, that's how you get on Edmonton Impact, right? You don't get that call from Dave Baines in the offseason unless you've gained a lot of respect from your peers.
Right.
And everyone's been talking about how good you are, and then you get that call like, hey, I know you like it where you're at, but what's it going to take?
Right.
What's the number?
Yeah, Matt Jackson's nasty. In the pits right now with Edmonton Impact as they're discussing variables. But we're about to jump into this next point here. Crucial moments for X Factor with Extreme up by 1. Point number 2 on its way. Still a lot of time left, 11:39. Things have slowed down a little bit on Sunday. First to strike's going to be New York Extreme as they keep those heavy guns up. And it's TJ Danner. That's a great kill off the break, man, because TJ does not die early a lot. So if you can get him shot while he's running to his bunker, that's the best time to shoot him.
And TJ's like Matt. I always feel like he's always alive.
Yeah.
Right? He's somewhere, and he's also slippery like Matt. He, you know, you think he's in a spot, and then he's in a different
spot. And like Matt Jackson, always seems to be in the right place at the right time.
Right.
X Factor with Billy Bernacchi has got into New York's snake. New York is not making any attempt to get in there with him. Billy Bernacchi can pull this game back for X Factor.
He absolutely can.
A couple quick kills here.
You have to shut down Billy Bernacchi if you play X Factor.
Yeah, and we've seen Billy do this so many times before.
Do you feel like when Rich is up here and NYX is playing, he's coaching while he's up here?
No. Well, yeah.
Like saying like, hey, I'm going to put this placeholder in the video for when you guys watch it later.
If by coaching you mean like hypercritical,
right.
Like when your
That's
dad's
exactly
angry at you and you made a mistake,
yeah.
And he's like, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed,
right.
But I'm also kind of mad too. I'm just going to tell you I'm mad. Yeah, Then yes.
Okay.
The one thing I consistently tell the New York Extreme guys is that I love them very much, but I love them more when they win.
Yeah.
At least you're being honest with them.
Yeah, and it's the way I look at it. Colt Roberts, I'd like to see Colt Roberts get a little closer to Billy Bernacchi here so that he can support Billy a little bit more so Billy has a little more freedom. Great fill to the corner there from CJ Cantor.
Yeah, Cantor is another one of those guys that's really started to make a name for himself as another player, as a second attacker that's in the right place at the right time very often. Great gunfighter, doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Billy's done a little retreat and then a little lateral movement out wide here to get to the Fortress.
Yeah, Billy's so dynamic. He's gone from all the way into New York's Extreme snake, back into his snake, inside the 50, outside the 50, super proactive. It's like having 4 guys in there. A lot of guys that go there and just sit on one gap or the other. Billy's on 4 or 5 different gaps. Colt's feeding him information. They're playing like 2 or 3 or 4 different players over here, and that's why it's so hard for New York to figure out how to get down this side of the field.
Yeah, and I was just going to say that too, Rich. I mean, it's really causing, look how tight. Now, of course, the Extreme has the lead, so they don't have to go anywhere, but there's a lot of time left. But it's really forced Hennessy and Cantor to deal with all of this proactivity coming out of Billy Bernacchi. So he's popping up in different spots and creating different angles, and I mean.
Oh, he gets cross kill on Pat Kraft.
Oh, that's just a beautiful kill here.
Pat Kraft playing a little sloppy there. One of the things that we talked about last night is the Dorito side has to put more pressure on Snake side. Oh, but at the same time, X Factor drops the body. 4-on-3 advantage for New York here, Matty.
Yeah, it's a tough death for X Factor on that side because they had just even up the count, but now it's down to a 3-on-4. So New York Extreme continuing to be in a high body situation.
New York finally get into the snake with CJ Cantor.
Yeah, Corey taking the walk
And Corey taking the walk now, 3-on-3.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of deaths like that out of Corey.
Yeah, this kind of fell apart because we just didn't. The New York didn't have any offense. They just sat back in the back line like that, a 10-point lead instead of a 1-point lead.
Yeah, they kind of just let Billy clock in over here.
Okay, so that's what I was talking about with the placeholder. Right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever want to leave the pits while Notorious is playing, you can come up here and call one of their games too, Ryan.
Right. No, I think I should probably be down.
Cole Roberts now making a great move, filling in with Billy Bernaccia. So 2 X Factor players now in the snake, both working together at the 50-yard line. Will Hennessy still playing defense from that snake insert, staying inside for quite some time there.
He's protecting the lead, Rich.
Yep. 3-on-3 here with Josh Taylor, Will Hennessy, CJ Cantor for New York Extreme, Billy Bernaccia, Colt Roberts, and I think LJ Parrish for X Factor on the D side. Great positions for both teams. I mean, New York Extreme does have a 1-point lead, but a 1-point lead against a team like X Factor really isn't a lead. So,
and another kill for Billy.
Yeah.
I think that one was Colt.
No, where is Colt? Oh,
Yeah,
Colt's right.
right
Sorry.
behind
I was blocked out for a second. I was like, where is Colt? Colt's with Billy in the snake. And then now Colt is brutalizing people with Billy Bernaccia here in the snake side. So X Factor won this point because Extreme had just zero threat on the snake side. And they let Billy, are they shooting their guns over there? Sure.
Right?
But Billy's like, okay, I'm going to go here, catching some pressure. I'm going to a different spot. Oh, look, I got a kill. Oh, you're feeling some pressure? Go to a different spot. Colt gets in as well, too, perfectly timed. And
masterclass on how to play that 50 snake there. And to be able to engage in each one of those spots, just enough not to ever get shot and not to ever, force the issue. Just perfect. Billy Bernaccia playing amazing.
We talk about the difference. There's good, great, and elite, right? Billy Bernaccia is elite.
Super elite.
He's been playing in the snake since mid-2000s. He's been doing this for, I think, 15, 18 years now.
Starting to figure it out.
And I feel like if you're playing Heat, you're playing X Factor, you're playing Impact, you got to match their snake guy.
Yeah.
You got to put a guy in just to go bully the guy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, and it's like, so you guys have a great snake attacker now in Archie Barnes Jr., but he's also at that point in his career where he's getting good penetration, but occasionally, and it's going to happen to everyone, occasionally he'll over battle, so he'll be in there, and then he'll get shot out of that spot by just, and that's when I go to those guys and say, I need 10% less out of you once you're in your spot.
Well, and he's working, but he's young.
Yeah, that's fine. I'd rather have that than having to take a cattle prod to get a guy to move up into an important position.
5-on-5 breakout, guys. Both back centers got checked, though, and both the spot cans got checked. So a lot of good shots on the break, possibly a little bit of bouncing going on.
This is a huge moment for San Diego Dynasty as they are down by 2. They have a lot of time to work with in 9 minutes, but
Impact gets out to that corner, and Axel gets in the snake, and from those positions, Dynasty's going to have a tough time making forward progress now. That snake looks inside.
Harrison Fry's going to go into snake 1 as Archie gets outside wide, but Axel is already pushing the issue and on their side of the field and posted up. The question is, does Dynasty know if Axel's there?
And who will get into the snake to support their guy first? And will it be Archie or will it be Nick Laval? Because that's going to, when one of these guys is going to play 2-on-1, and whichever team plays 2-on-1 first is probably going to have the advantage.
Well, Archie just moved up to the insert. Laval's still shooting the crossfield shot. Laval did make a nice move to get outside wide, and that wide spot's pretty crucial because you can actually gunfight the 50 from there. This is an interesting snake because all those bunkers are in set. Until you get outside wide or you get to that 50, you're not really having any down the tape gun battles.
There goes Archie.
Archie's going to run through, and they get a shot in on Axel. So now it's Archie Montemayor and Harrison Fry pushing the issue in the snake for San Diego Dynasty. Chris Shear gets into D2.
Yeah, I don't like how Impact played the snake here and let Nick Laval in the snake not supporting Axel and left Axel basically in a 3-on-1 against Dynasty. And again, Dynasty is one of the best teams, if not the best team in the world, at identifying that one person, having 3 guys work together to eliminate that one person, and now those 3 guys go eliminate their next person. It's just really good team paintball. Very hard to beat.
Yeah, I can imagine when Axel got up there, he probably turned around and was like, hey, where are you?
Guys, guys, it's really scary up here. Somebody talk to me. I just have a feeling there's bad guys everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Nick's in the back in the corner. No, you're good, bro. You're fine.
And it's so loud in there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we had Mouse up here with Spica yesterday, and Kyle actually asked Mouse. He's like, how loud is it in there? He's like, it is so loud, you could barely hear yourself think while you're in there. It gets a little crazy.
Harrison to the 50 snake. This is huge for Dynasty.
Yeah, so from there, you can, that's just such a great offensive spot.
Harrison Laval, 1-on-1 here, snake side.
Well, and Harrison is tall enough that he can stand up over it and shoot over that brick, actually.
Yeah. He can assassinate Fuzzy. Fuzzy gets outside from the center brick to the Dorito-sized wing.
Got to be careful, though. D1 is really putting a lot of pressure here on the snake.
Just totally dedicated this way.
Archie right in there with Harrison. 1-2 punch there, and that's the way you got to play the snake. You have to have two guys in there working together and a third guy to fill, not two guys watching the one guy in there. Dynasty now getting to Dorito 4 over there. I believe that's Chris Shear.
Yeah, Chris Shear, so proficient. He was balling on an island on that D side. Done such a good job in his first year with San Diego Dynasty.
Chris Shear, Harrison Fry's over here looking for gunfights, snapping at the spots, but the guys aren't there to snap at him because everyone's so tight here for Impact.
Well, Harrison Fry's also had a great tournament so far. He didn't get any playing time practically at that last event and really stepped up playing the first attacker on this line with Archie and Ryan right behind him.
Yeah, the kind of vulnerable position for Impact here is that Dorito, that small Dorito, the big Dorito in the back center there. I think it's Brandon Cornell.
Archie fresh off a wedding and a honeymoon here too, and he was feeling very, very good about life when I talked to him on Thursday.
Should be floating.
He had that,
Oh, Chris Shear taking the walk, Maddie, sorry.
Oh, that's a tough death for Chris over there. That forces Ryan to dig out that way, and Marcelo as well too. Oh, Archie almost gets a shot on Jackson at that wedge, and then he's gonna back up off that 50-yard line inside snake spot. Marcelo Margot with a nice little move out into D2 to take over the attack for Dynasty on the D side because of that death of Chris Shear.
Harrison's working really hard to get a kill here, Maddie. Oh, Nick Laval makes a sloppy move going forward here, not playing like he's up on points at all.
Great
I don't understand that.
Yeah, great zone control here from Dynasty as both Archie and Harrison are still alive. It's a 4-on-3 situation here. And now Matt Jackson's getting checked out by the ref as he was trying to make a move inside. And that's going to be a minor penalty on Matt Jackson. It's going to pull out Cornell. And then here comes the close as Dynasty, and Archie comes up and trades out.
Dynasty wins that point with 2 bodies left alive. Sometimes Dynasty goes out there and beats you, and sometimes you go out there and beat yourself, right? Just by not playing the field right, not making the right decisions based on the scoring time.
Yeah, if Nick stays, they probably burn another minute, right?
Minimum, right?
Yeah.
And maybe force Dynasty to draw a penalty, make a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes.
That was a high-level paintball point right there. Masterful job by Dynasty. I mean, the only real mistake they made was Chris Shear getting shot on that D side. Other than that, it was perfectly executed. Harrison Fry and Archie lights out on the snake side in that point.
Harrison is so dynamic. I got to watch him a lot in Europe. Played kind of a hold spot on like a 2 on the Dorito side. Now here he's, the 1 in the snake. I mean, the guy it seems like he can do everything.
He's a very, very versatile attacker. And it was a tough decision because he was essentially the go-to offensive weapon for Infamous and had to make a hard decision in the offseason to either stay with Infamous and be their main guy or go to Dynasty and fight for playtime. He chose the harder route. So,
yeah, good on him.
Let's see if New York can do a little bit better job of getting in that snake. X Factor with 5 alive. They get, looks like Meter in the snake first.
Yeah, Meter getting into the snake. Billy goes outside wide, make X Factor a little bit less scoutable, switching up spots, but Meter's great on the attack too. Another Texan.
Yeah. Will Hennessy in the snake for New York Extreme. That's a lot better spot for Will Hennessy to be playing. Josh Taylor going out of back center to the Dorito. Oh, X Factor peeling off their first body over there, taking the walk from the D side. I think it's LJ Parrish. Bill Bernacci now secondarying into the snake.
Yeah, that's a huge kill on Parrish because he's been such a huge weapon on that D side for X Factor. Extreme controlling the tempo of this game so far, of this point. Tied up at 1 though, and here comes Meter. Meter's going to try to commit.
Didn't know Pat Kraft was there.
Oh, and then Billy, yes, points. This is going to be, like I was going to say, Ryan Brand's going to concede this one here. It's actually Coach Dixon that hit that buzzer. X Factor going down 1 here against New York Extreme. So the big question with the Extreme is, like, how legit are they, right? I mean, how are they ready to win a tournament? I mean, the Extreme has only lost 1 game in the prelims all year. They're tied for 3rd overall. They've made it to a semifinals. They're looking really good, but at now, okay, the bar has been raised for you. Now what do you do?
I feel like NYX, when they don't get penalties, plays championship-style paintball. But when they get penalties and they start getting a little selfish, it gets kind of ripped out from underneath them. But
wait,
for me as a
coach, did you just summon Rich Telfer right now?
For me as a coach, the bar would be, now we need to be in the top 2.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Hey, look, we're on the same page.
Hey,
don't tell me what you've done before. Tell me you've done something new and better.
Dynasty pockets up a little bit here with line number 2. With 5 minutes left to go, they're still down by 1. Let's see if they can make it happen. Oh, Blake gets chopped up, and Oliver Lang gets shot as well, too. So great job by Impact getting those key
here.
2 kills.
Lots of time left in this match.
I mean,
Kevin
not that much time.
If not against his body here, he's got to concede this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right? Do you just concede now? Now you concede. Now you concede.
Right now.
Yeah, it's a lot on a little. And you're really asking a lot of our, okay, there we go. Yeah, that's absolutely the correct call. Send the next line out and see what they can do. You're still going to be down by 2. The question now is that if this line can put up a point and pull back within 1, do you run that line 1 again, or do you keep seesawing back and forth? I'm getting a head shake.
No, I would run that line.
Line 1?
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing about 2 lines, right? Is they can be perfectly balanced. One can be stronger than the other, but one is generally speaking going to play better than the other on that field against the other team. And that one you run 60 or 70% of your points, and you bring the other guys in for 40% of your points.
Poor SK. I don't know how he decides how to, who's going to play and who's not.
Oh, poor SK. He's got all the best players in the world, and all they do is win. It must be terrible for him. Oh, and he gets a lot of money for it? Oh, poor SK. You know what? Maybe you should take him out to dinner tonight.
You sound a little bitter, but that's not really that strange. Yeah, it's backs to the wall here, Dynasty. It's just so hard to stay that elite for that long. Looks like Will Hennessy going to get shut off the break here as Extreme trying to preserve this lead. Corey Hall going to get outside wide, and I don't see anybody walking off dead right now for X Factor.
And Billy's in the snake.
High body situation currently for X Factor. Billy back into the snake, doing the Bernaccia things and taking some ground early. Gets into snake 2. They also get outside wide with Bayless, but no, Bayless gets shot. So Extreme answers 4-on-4, but much better field position with Billy in the snake, and there's no one even close to the snake right now for New York Extreme.
No, CJ Cannon looks like he might be allergic to the snake altogether. He's in the snake camp, but looking Drew side. Josh Taylor on back center, looking snake side. PK and Corey over there on the D side. It looks like it's Meter behind Billy on snake side, and TJ in the back center for X Factor. 4-on-4 here.
Well, X Factor, they look really good here in this point, controlling the pace of the action, but they are still down by 1, and they have 5 minutes and 43 seconds to work with, so it's kind of a must-win point here for X Factor. If they're going to lose this one, lose it fast.
Yeah, this unfortunately is looking a lot like that other point where Billy Bernacchi is in New York Extreme snake all by himself. No one's looking to do anything about it, and New York Extreme is just trying to hide out there.
Yeah, Meter needs to get busy.
Yeah, now here comes Meter. Yep. Follows Billy up, now gets into the snake behind Billy. He's going to have whatever loaders are looking at Billy. Oh, bad death there from, is that Tom Guest?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Tom. Bad death there. So 4-on-3 advantage now. 2 in the 50 snake now for X Factor, though. This is big for them.
Yeah, but here comes Pat Kraft. I think Pat Kraft just dipped out into D4. Made a couple nice little moves out there. I think Corey Hall's still at the tower.
We have a saying on New York Extreme, and that saying is, don't wake up Pat Kraft. Because if you wake up Pat Kraft, he'll do something with your frying pan. I don't get the whole thing, but it's pretty funny when they say.
Well, if we were doing another All-Star ballot, I get a vote on that, and I would be putting Pat Kraft on my All-Star ballot for sure, based on what we've seen so far this year. Now, I hope maybe we don't do an All-Star game, because then that would summon some sort of weather for whatever event that it would be played at. But
sure. 3-on-4 advantage here for New York Extreme. They've got to figure out how to kill the one body on the Dorito side and stay alive from the 2 players on the snake side for Extreme. Josh Taylor's battling with 2 players over here.
Yeah, Taylor's in kind of a rough spot.
Yeah.
Meter gets clipped as he comes across, though, so great zone control.
Great shot. Josh shot that on the run from the back center to the Dorito 1.
Way to keep his gun that way, right? And shooting paintballs through the zone, even on the move. And now we're going to see a concession here from X Factor. That's what we just said. If you're going to lose this point, you got to lose it kind of fast, because now you need 2 to tie. Dynasty in a similar situation here with probably right around the same amount of time. So there's going to be 4-11 left in this match.
And if I was New York Extreme right now, I would see how Dynasty went out and played this same exact point that they're about to play and see if they're doing anything slightly different than we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be a good thing for Coach Dan to look at.
In the pits real quick here with New York Extreme up by 2.
Impact looking good, huh?
Yeah, Impact looks dialed.
They must have had a good meeting last night.
They went back to their basic bread and butter, right? Utah, they went double wide. They're going back to the Navy bullshit, right? We'll get the read.
Always parental advisory when we cut to the pits, especially on Sunday.
Especially with the New York pit.
Yep.
Yeah, can San Diego Dynasty do it? They're trying to win 4 events in a row, make some history, and they're going to send Greenspan out wide, and it looks like he makes it clean. 4:20 on the clock here, and Impact up by 2. Impact stays in the pocket, keeping those guns up, and they do get a shot on Chris Shear on that D side. That's a massive kill. It's a 5-on-4 situation.
No, Archie died too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now it's kill 3, Marcelo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Wow, Edmondson Impact trying to knock Dynasty out in the quarters. That's, depending on who wins this one, is going to make the series title race pretty interesting if Dynasty goes home in the quarters.
When you looked at the brackets last night, I was pretty sure the winner was going to come out of this bracket. I just didn't know who it was going to be.
Yeah, it's a pretty brutal bracket with on this side of the bracket, right? So you have Dynasty and Impact and then New York Extreme and X Factor. So whoever wins in the Dynasty Impact game is going to play the winner of New York Extreme and X Factor. As it stands now, it's Extreme and Impact until something changes. So what line is I mean, is he going to go hybrid line? He needs a couple quick ones here, or are we going to see a standard line?
Mine would be hybrid.
Nope, standard line.
Put all my wheels in.
Standard line. We got a lot of time left, right?
4 minutes, maybe?
That's a ton of time. If Billy Bernaccia gets shot on the break, X Factor's going to struggle here. If Billy can get in the snake, X Factor's got a legit shot to tie this game up and win.
That's been like the Cliff Note version of the past 10 years for X Factor.
Shoot Billy Bernaccia. Oh, he makes it in there again. Billy Bernaccia may be unshootable. Uh-oh, running a ref.
But the shot on Parrish on the break here, so they got a chance to try to seal it up.
Right to the 50, no one knows he's there. He goes forward.
Oh, Extreme though. Hennessy gets Billy Bernaccia is just blasting people right now. Billy Bernaccia gets 1, gets 2. Billy Bernaccia gets 3.
Jesus.
Billy might be getting 4. There's a body at the spot can that could have wrapped around and got a shot on Billy. That's 4 kills for Billy Bernaccia. That's the best move we've seen on Sunday. We got $1,000 at stake for Move of Sunday, courtesy of Pate Smith Law. And that is definitely the first one to go on the list.
I feel like we were just talking about how good Josh is, and as Billy was coming down the side, he kind of hid.
He hid, for sure, yeah. He bends to pressure, but he's working on it. Again, to reiterate, if anyone's listening out there in the New York Extreme land, don't let Billy Bernaccia run and shoot to the snake. If he does get there, assume he's there. Pump the outside of the 50 so he can't wrap and kill 3 guys until you can get someone else in that snake. Just throwing it out there.
So just kind of as a general rule, the
Just
elite
generally
first
speaking.
attackers on the snake side, you kind of want to be putting pressure on those guys. You know, the Axels, the Mouses of the world, the Billy Bernaccias, just kind of as a general rule, right?
Yeah, and especially if you're in, you at least want to have your gun this way if you're in the snake against them.
Well, and if you're an up-and-coming trying to be an elite attacker, like, say, an Archie Barnes Jr., take a page out of a Billy Bernaccia's book, and if you're not feeling pressure and you're in that situation, you don't need to be hiding. You need to be putting guys in, making moves, because lo and behold, all of a sudden, maybe you get a 4-pack.
Absolutely.
So Axel with a good start there.
So Dynasty now down by 3 with just 4:11 to go. Can they do it? Can they summon the spirit yet again? And they're going to send the body of Yosh Rao going up the center. And do any kills come off of that move? It doesn't look like they do. So
Arturo was able to run and shoot to D3, but didn't get a kill doing it.
Arturo's going to run into D4 now. Bend break moment here for Impact. As they get Axel out. Axel might have got killed, though, crossfield. He's asking for a check. Might have caught a hot bouncer. And now past the 50 here, Arturo pushing the issue. He's onto Impact side as Oliver Lang gets into the snake. There goes Axel, no penalty assessed.
Arturo's doing work, Matty.
Some really good positions here for Dynasty. Arturo doing work, already got a kill. Lang has made a really good move to get to the 50 Fortress, and Urina's right behind him. And they got to push the issue here. They need 3 just to tie. They're down to 3:30 to work with. Lake's going to follow up Arturo and get right beside him as Lang's trying to figure out where he wants to wrap around. He's definitely catching some heat, though, from that back center. And then Urina also catching some heat as well, too. Oh, body coming off. It's Zupa.
Yeah, 4-on-2 for Dynasty, Matt.
I'm pretty sure that was either Blake or Arturo.
Yeah, D side, I think. So it's just back center and Dorito. Oliver's off 1 count.
No, I think there's a body at the tower. He's right. It's kill 2.
So,
well, that's smart, though. He saw 2 bodies ran past him.
Called the math. So it's Dorito corner, first Dorito, back center for Impact. Dynasty's got 2 on Impact side of the field and the red side of the field.
They need to tell Oliver where those bodies are, because he knows there's a guy in back center. Oh, he's going to try to put Mac Jackson in. Oh, and he might have got that kill. No, look this. No, it's Blake and Arturo throwing a wrecking ball. Blake Yarber up the center. Arturo's still alive. And then bodies are coming off. Urina is going to rush forward, and I think that is going to be it. Oliver got to be careful not to shoot Urina.
Arturo with a hell of a game there. Good job, Arturo.
I mean, all 4 bodies that were alive after that first death played great. Lang did a great job of getting into the 50-yard line fortress. Arturo and Blake blew that point open from that D side.
Yep.
But also part of that was the fact that Mikey and Oliver were over here alive and taking a lot of those guns, a lot of that pressure. Because if you don't put, we just talked about, if you don't put pressure on that snake side, well, guess what happens? Those guys shoot everybody.
Yep.
But then now you can't put pressure on the D side. That's that 1-2 boxing metaphor combo here, a 1-2-3 punch.
I think you just saw the example of how, even when it's not loud in here with that giant brick next to you, you can't hear anything from the other side of the field. Like this guy literally is just by himself, you know, wheeling and dealing as much as he can, trying to stay alive. You can't hear anything.
Yeah, no, that's very true, because, you know, Oliver's in that spot, and it's so loud because he's catching so much pressure. Urina's in there shooting his gun. Urina's getting shot at. He's getting shot at. And even if they were telling him exactly where everyone is, he just can't hear.
Right.
But then it's up to you. You got to figure out. And he was being proactive, trying to find where those last bodies were.
Yeah, you said it earlier. It sounded like he had it.
So jumping into this one, New York Extreme trying to hold on. Got to stop Billy Bernacci on the snake side, though.
Goes in. 5 alive for both teams. Will Hennessy getting the check. Looks like he's okay. Billy Bernacci right into the snake. Snake 1 for X Factor. He's going to look forward and come right into New York's side of the field again. Looks like New York has decided to play the back line, not take the primary bunkers they need to lock this field down. Interesting call. X Factor with 4 across the back. Billy Bernacci in snake 2. Pat Craft making a fill from the burrito into the center brick. He'll look to lock down the D side from there. Colt Roberts now following up Billy Bernacci. I'd love to have 2 or 3 guys over here in this snake. Gives you so many options.
And especially Colt.
Yeah.
You can have a guy like Colt who's right behind you. If you're in front of him, you're pretty confident.
I like this from New York Extreme much better with CJ Cantor looking this way at least, and Will Hennessy looking this way at least, protecting the guys or slowing down the guys in front of them.
The issue that, you know, New York Extreme is really hoping they can win some gunfights because they're not fighting fire with fire right now. They're like, oh, let's take all the back spots and, you know, play some damage paintball, and we'll see if they can win that way because they don't have a big lead. They have a 1-point lead right now. There's 2 minutes and 35 seconds left. Colt and Billy are in great spots.
And X Factor's been here plenty of times before. This is not a new situation for them. They're not feeling panicky. They're not feeling a bunch of pressure. They're calm. They're cool, collective. They have every confidence that they're going to win this point.
Yeah, things are going to get really small for CJ.
Yeah, and for Pat Craft. Pat Craft's in there. Finally gets his gun up. CJ's not even able to shoot his gun yet.
Yeah, he called it. And then first to die is CJ, as he just could not get small enough in that bunker. Now Hennessy's going to get out of that back corner and move up into the insert bunker, snake side. And then there goes Corey Hall. He gets pinched out. It's so hard. It's so hard to live in those back bunkers when they have penetration on both sides of the field.
You can zone this field up, but you can't do it from the back line.
Yeah, it's not enough offense out of New York Extreme the past couple points. They do get a drop on Colt Roberts, though, but because this is the benefit of having 2 bodies in the snake, because now Meter's going to
3
filter
bodies
in.
the snake. Yeah, New York Extreme is out here playing not to lose this point instead of playing to win. Putting themselves in a very tough situation against one of, if not, you know, top teams in the world for sure.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you know, world champs before, X Factor. I mean, it's been a while since they've won a tournament, but they're due. And I really like this refined line that they've been bringing this year.
What a great move. TJ went out into the little dead spot, shot the guy out of the lay-down door in the middle of the field.
Billy.
Oh, Will Hennessy with a kill.
That was a...
But here comes Meter. Meter chews him up.
Yeah, Meter's going to come through. We might get a... I think Meter got picked up by Josh Taylor.
1-on-1 or 2-on-1?
Looks like for sure a 1-on-1. I think it's going to be TJ Danner versus Josh Taylor. Both these guys really excel in 1-on-1s. No, it's 2-on-1. 2-on-1. Yeah, it's 2-on-1, but they're lined up. This is actually good for Taylor.
Oh, Josh
not
the wrong
anymore.
way.
Here comes Cody Bayless. He's going to come through. He's going to get that shot in on Josh Taylor's the last body left alive. And we got a tie ball game with 34 seconds left to go. Great job by Cody Bayless. Stayed alive over there. He actually head checked at the clock before he made that last little run through, kind of on his jog to go get Taylor. He heard that pressure as he saw TJ go outside wide, so he cut inside, head checked the clock, knew he had enough time, stitches up Taylor, and we got about 34 seconds left to go. And it's all locked up at 3.
What a fun match.
Yeah, you picked a good set to come up here, Ryan.
I'm sad mine was so not entertaining.
Hey, I got Ryan Gray.
You had moments.
We got Ryan Gray up here, coach of Austin Notorious, former coach, San Antonio X Factor, and coming up with Texas Storm. And so, yeah, look, the fact you guys even made it this far, I mean, you're a rookie pro team. You made Sunday already, so.
Yeah, I'm not a good loser, so I know that those will be things that when I get home, I'll be grateful for, and I'll find a way to, you know, find some satisfaction in that, but so little.
The wound is still fresh right now. So Dynasty scored 1. Can they do 2 more? They have 2 minutes and 8 seconds to work with, and they're going to launch. Looks like Impact launches Axel. 5 bodies alive for both squads. No one walking off dead yet. Here comes Ryan Greenspan. He's going to try to help out. His 2 attackers here on the snake is Harrison Fry, and here comes Archie Montemayor to get in with Harrison. Harrison's going to try to wrap around and get a shot on Axel. And Impact's going to lose a body in the backfield. Axel does trade out with Harrison, and Archie Montemayor still owns the snake now.
Yeah, again, it's the second or third guy a lot of times that's winning the snake battle.
Yeah, absolutely. What's interesting, too, is whoever moves forward, stylistically, These teams are playing a lot more offensive-minded than, say, Damage is playing, or the Hurricanes. Archie's going to come through, and he's going to steal this point here and pull within 1 with 1 minute and 22 seconds left.
Nice point from Archie there.
Big point.
Yeah, good point from Harrison, too. He got in there first, went through and took out Axel, and then Archie had done such a good job of staying close to Harrison that he was able to feast after that, and that was that potent combo.
I want somebody today, if they're in the snake too and you have a guy outside of you in this brick, to jump over.
Highway?
Go on the highway, shoot the guy, and dive right into the other side of the snake. Because nobody can shoot you.
Free little coaching advice here from Ryan Gray for everyone out there.
Well, I know X Factor's key to success here. Get Billy Bernacci in the snake, have Billy Bernacci go forward.
That'll be new for
them. All the X Factor New York players.
It's a new strategy.
Yeah.
I know New York is going to struggle if they go 5 guys across the back line, and watch Billy Bernacci do that.
Well, and also X Factor has all the momentum right now. I mean, New York Extreme's got to be scratching their heads thinking like, Jesus, what just happened?
Yeah, New York needs to show some maturity here because now X Factor 5 across the back.
Well, it looks like now New York Extreme going to go full court press as they take D3 to 50 in the middle, and then they send Hennessy the snake, but Hennessy gets shot out. They are going to get a shot on meter. Here comes some secondary moves from X Factor. They get Cody Minkowski out of that back center. TJ's still there. Parrish is now on the snake side.
Yeah, Josh Taylor and Corey Hall on the attack, but Corey gets shot. 4-on-3 advantage here.
Cody Minkowski off to the races after the death of Hall, and then here comes Parrish looking for it, but he's going to get eaten up by CJ, who's in a great position. And we're going to see a concession.
Good concession there from X Factor. That was smart.
This is a really good set.
Wow, NYX with the offense, and they win.
It's crazy.
Weird.
I really feel bad for their coach because obviously he's not doing a very good job of communicating that in the meetings.
Well, I mean, maybe if you were just like a little bit more precise in your communication and tell them exactly what you want them to do.
And Matt and I used to always have this problem when we play together. Sometimes I'm just too subtle. Like,
Yeah, you're too nice,
I
too.
can't communicate my...
I think maybe if you said it with a little more stern, you know,
I agree.
aggressive way.
I agree, yeah. You know, just a little too soft in his criticism.
I feel like you have to filter through what he's trying to say to get to the point because he's not direct and intentional with what he says.
I'm too subtle.
It's just something for you to work on.
Yeah. Hey, we all have areas to improve on. Certainly, that's one of them.
When you say things like, hey, if you guys want to, if it's okay.
If you have time, if it's not inconvenient.
If you're feeling it.
Right.
You know, guys, if you're feeling it out there, okay? So, yeah, we're in the pits right now with Extreme. They have a 1-point lead. How is X Factor going to respond right now?
Man, these
They're
both these
gonna send
matches
Billy
are
Bernacci to
awesome.
the snake. And he's going to try to kill everybody. That's how they're going to respond. Now this is an interesting match.
And maybe he moved Ryan over or LJ over to get Billy a little rest.
Yeah, maybe. Because, I mean, he's been going after it every single point.
I would look Billy right in the eyes and be like, I need one more.
Yeah.
I need one more. Unless he's too old and he can't do it anymore. Then obviously, you know, we can make some adjustments.
It's not been
based
my
on his
experience.
age. It's not my experience either.
Yeah.
Billy's only 34.
I know. I thought
He's young.
we've known him for. We must.
Because he was like
2
16
or 3.
Right. Yeah, it must have been 4 or 5.
Yeah. I remember taking him to kindergarten and being like, he's not like the other kids.
He was working at P&L Paintball playing with the Hurricanes.
Yep. Big bite, Harrison Snake on the break, looking
They
for
got
ref.
shot in the leg.
Dynasty trying to do it again here. Can they score 3 in a row? They're going to be losing Harrison, but they do shoot Matt Jackson.
4-on-4, Matt.
And here comes Archie. Archie's going to filter out. He's going to be the first attacker as they launch on the D side as well, too, getting to that wedge.
Yeah, Archie's been mostly supporting Harrison out here on Friday and Saturday, but Sunday he's been coming out here and actually winning the snake side for Dynasty.
We're down to a minute as here comes Archie. Archie's going to launch. No one's looking at Archie right now. Marcella filtering up in the center as well, too. They still have a body also at that wedge. And here comes Archie. He's going to get one. Archie trying to win this one here for Dynasty. No one's looking at Archie. Finally, he gets picked up from the tower.
Dynasty 2-on-1, 3-on-1 still, Matty.
Yeah, another body coming off as Greenspan filters in, and the attack on the D side also working out for San Diego Dynasty. They're going to get that last kill, and they're going to tie this game up. And with what, probably about, well, we'll see. Ryan Greenspan's going to head check at the clock and going to check out. And it looks like they're going to hit that buzzer. We'll see if Marcel's going to hit the buzzer or let the time burn down. Looks like he's going to hit it. 23 seconds left to go. Beautiful job by the D side as well, too, with Chris Shear, Marcelo Margot being very smart and aggressive at the same time, took a risk over there, and then Archie blazes his way through the snake side after the early death of Harrison Fry.
He's just so small. He can still be on his feet, block himself out from the can.
To be able to walk, I was like, man, if I could do that, I would have been a good paintball player. If I could walk into that little brick and shoot everybody on the D side and the guys in front of me couldn't see me.
I mean, it looks like he's like drops 3 inches and he's below the box.
It looks like he's standing up straight to me.
Brandon, why don't you switch that switch? You had no guns?
Timeout called. They got a little more time to talk about this one. Got to be a head scratcher. So similar with Extreme, right? They give up the lead and then answer. And then now Impact had the lead, 3-point lead on Dynasty. 3 unanswered points in a row for San Diego Dynasty from both lines. And now we got a tie game. We're probably going to see an overtime point. Now the question when we are in instances like this with 23 seconds left, yeah, right there, are they going to play to win? And then looks like Dalton just told them, hey, they're going to play to win.
They're going to send it, Dave.
Yeah,
nobody knows. Nobody on any of the squads probably know Dynasty better than Dalton.
Yeah, Dalton just won the World Cup MVP overall with San Diego Dynasty last year, and then decides to go over to Edmonton Impact. And then he actually played injured at the last event. That dude's as tough as a coffin nail.
Such a huge asset, though, to be able to bring over one of the best players and the best team in the world to not just play on the field, but to help you understand, like, hey, why are these guys doing everything slightly better than we're doing it? Like, what are the little nuances that we're at the outside we can't pick up on, but you might be able to communicate to us?
So you saw Dalton, again, when he blew the ligaments out in his elbow, had to have surgery, so he was going to be out for the next 3 months. But he just told, he's like, hey, Dave, they're going to send it. He's like, they're going to try to win.
Yeah, they're not quitters. Let's see if New York Extreme has the maturity they need to win this point. X-Factor losing 1 on the Dorito side, but Billy Bernacci, of course, getting into the snake, looking to do work. At New York Extreme, again, loses Will Hennessy on the break. 4-on-4 here for both teams. CJ Cannon looking inside from that can. I don't think CJ understands how to play that can because he keeps looking the wrong way. Good fill from the corner from Colt Roberts. This is what we've seen at every point from X Factor here. Colt Roberts and Billy Bernacci just dominating the snake side, and New York Extreme just hiding in the back and trying not to lose.
Well, there's no Jerry Carr at this event. Our thoughts go out to Jerry. He got in a car accident. So the fact that Extreme is looking as good as they did without arguably one of their best players, or unarguably one of their best players, their best player on his best days.
Josh Taylor could probably get it back center there. They need PK stay alive over that D3. 4-on-3 advantage here for X Factor with a lot of time left in this.
Yeah, and the positions too. Again, it's just with Colt, whether it's Meter and Billy or Colt and Billy, they just keep finding themselves in really good positions in the snake, and Extreme keeps having to fight from these back spots. They are moving, making moves on that D side though, getting all the way into D4. Couldn't see if that was, is that Kraft or is that Hall?
I think it's Kraft. It might be Hall, but that's as far as they can go on that D side. With Colt Roberts sitting in that snake side, just dumping that gap. Billy Bernacci over here head checking with CJ Cantor. Whoever wins this battle between CJ and Billy is going to really contribute to winning this match. And Billy Bernacci has just been stomping on CJ Cantor and Will Hennessy this whole match with a little bit of help from Colt Roberts. Josh Taylor still in back center there, not really sure which way he wants to go.
Well, they got time to work with here, 3:22 to go,
Yeah,
and a ton of time to kind of just pick and choose their battles here. They have the real estate, and just give everyone time to try to win a gunfight. You see CJ's at this little tiny cake in the back, in this back spot. It's a good spot positionally, but CJ is not a small man, and that is a really small spot.
Yeah.
So again, just stay alive for X Factor, filter it out, try to win a gunfight.
Yeah, and New York Extreme player on the D has to understand that he's on island right over there, right? He cannot die no matter what. If he kills people, that's great, but cannot die, because if he dies, this point is over.
Colt searching for it as he's past the 50 here. He's on to New York Extreme side. Ooh, gets checked back in.
Yeah, Josh Taylor almost catches him. I'd like to see the New York guys pumping some more paint into the snake, creating those bounce shots, making it noisy, making it hard for the snake players for X Factor to play paintball, but they're not. There's no pressure coming snake side at all. The most important bunker on the field. New York Extreme should put a little more pressure when they get a chance.
I mean, you still got a minute and a half before things get weird.
X Factor feeling no pressure though. If you look across the field, none of those guys are tight in their bunker. They're all just relaxed, guns up, pumping the lanes. And then New York guys are all as tight as they can be.
So smart. When Cole went inside, Meter immediately went out there and took over that snake job.
Yep. Illustrating that they understand how the field is played and where they have the advantage, where they have the disadvantage. X Factor with great communication, calling where the bodies are, what they need to do. Know they have plenty of time. X Factor, one of those really good teams at closing without making any mistakes, without getting penalties. Billy Bernaccia is very calm, cool, and collected, trying to get a kill on CJ Cantor in the corner or Josh Taylor in the back center. Colt Roberts doing the same thing.
So contain the D side here for X Factor. Hope you can get a body up there as well, too. And then just try to work these angles. Oh, here comes a move on the D side. Oh, it popped the top there, D4. Not really a move. He's just trying to get into a gunfight in the middle.
TJ kind of has the posture like he wants to try to get outside, but I can't tell if he's just looking for an angle.
He's looking for the angle.
TJ wins that gunfight.
Yeah, that's...
On Pat Crap, but this is what we just talked about, right? Yeah. Look, you have time, you're in good positions, just give it a couple beats, hope somebody can step up in a gunfight, and that's exactly what happens. And then look, now the curtain is starting to fall here on this game as Colt did catch one. It's not gonna matter. Beautiful, just high-level elite paintball out of X Factor in this come from behind. Masterful job, and that is gonna do it here in overtime as X Factor punches their ticket. So the Cinderella story here for New York Extreme, not going to work out here. They lose another game in the quarters, just like the last event. They made it to the semis at the first event, but they still look really good. Extreme, we just saw some flaws in what they were working with out there. Not enough offense, and I'm just wondering if you guys had Jerry, what does this event look like? You know, because at least you're going to have somebody that you know is going to attack on the snake side. He's one of those guys you have to rein back in instead of, you know, hit him with the electricity to try to get him to go forward.
Yeah, it seemed like if New York Extreme had, you know, like one snake guy on that sideline producing, they probably would have done a little bit better in that match.
Will, I think you did. You had a good weekend, buddy.
Yeah, you had an amazing Friday and Saturday, Will. Good job. Keep up the good work. I love you.
Good job, Rich. You know, you guys, the coaching squad over there, you got them to the quarters.
Yeah. And that's where we're at right now, right? And that's our goal, is to get past that level at some point. But unfortunately, you have to work harder to get past the level you're at. Nick Laval taking a hard bounce off the hopper there.
So it does look like both these teams went out to try to shoot bodies and then attack if you could, because neither team sent it.
Yeah, I don't think either team is
pocket. Here comes Blake in the middle. Point. Blake goes up proactively, wraps hard.
Another overtime battle here.
Man, can't ask for two better games to start with, right?
You guys should just bring me up more often. Maybe you'll get better games.
Yeah, you are our good luck charm, apparently, because take 2 overtime fights.
Let's go, Dynasty.
So now, what line does Dynasty send out for this overtime point?
The other line.
That's kind of my question. You think so?
It'll be Ryan Greenspan's line.
I think you're right.
Who needs water, Gator? Anything?
So the winner of this game here will be playing San Antonio X Factor in the semis. Coming up next, we will have the Hurricanes and Tampa Bay Dems. Both those teams have a very, very similar style. And then AC Diesel is going to be playing Houston Heat, and both those teams have a very similar style. So it will be kind of a bloody knuckles, the fixed bayonets and go forward game between AC Diesel and Heat. Most likely, never know. And then Hurricanes and Damage is going to be a little bit more strategic, tactical battle.
You could have a 1-0 game there.
Yeah, well, I walked when I was in the short break that we had in between the set. Strangely enough, happened to run into both Joey Blute and Mike Bianca at the same time, and they were both kind of patting each other on the back about how good they've done with those groups, and also how kind of joking about how they play the same style, about what they were going to see out there, and they were both like, you know what you're going to see. And then, you know, it's like, and then Bianca was like, no, you guys made one adjustment. I saw it, I picked up on it. So, yeah,
Mike is so smart.
Styles make fights. Yeah, Mike Bianca's great, man. What an amazing story. Again, you know, New York Extreme, Notorious now making a Sunday, and then the Hurricanes. But again, with the question with the Hurricanes is, do they have enough to go deep, right?
Yeah.
Can they get into the semifinals?
It was cool yesterday to watch him play Heat and get really active.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, if you are joining us on your social media platforms, please head on over to gosports.com and watch the best paintball players on planet Earth throw down here at the biggest tournament series in the world, the NXL. And it's just kind of tough to call who's going to win this one. I'll tell you what, though, Dynasty is always a favorite. And if they take down Edmonton Impact in this crazy come-from-behind victory, if it is Dynasty, then I'll tell you what, they are the super favorites then.
Yeah, if they win this, they're definitely on cruise control. And I kind of feel the same way for Impact.
Yeah, I totally agree. If they can, in a bend don't break moment, find a way to take down Dynasty. If you beat Dynasty at this point, you're the favorite. Like straight up. There's
now
no other way to call.
You're the best team in the world.
You have to call. I will argue that every single day, all day long.
To be fair, he likes to argue.
So I thought for a second that they were going to spin. Okay, so it looks like Oliver and Yosh just going out there to give him some extra vibes and some mojo here, as they're going to be going with a little bit. Is that hybrid line?
Are they
no, that's line 1.
Yeah. Interesting. Nobody back center for Dynasty. I love that.
On this
Completely
overtime
different look
point.
there. Wow.
So Dynasty gonna take a little bit of ground on that D side and in the middle.
5 guys running and shooting, nobody at back center.
So they try to take some ground and get out, maybe trying to trap Impact in the pocket. They go hardcore pocket, and then Bud able to get a body out, but Dynasty able to get a body in the snake first. They do not, Impact does not send Axel. They keep him at the insert spot, but he's alive. But now I'm wondering, is Impact gonna get trapped in this pocket once Harrison Fry gets up into the snake? Archie Montemayor still at the spot can. Ryan actually started on the D side, gets back to the back center, and then now here comes Archie. Archie's not feeling any pressure, man. No one's shooting at Archie, and they're gonna get the shot in on Axel Godin. That is a huge kill.
That was right.
Oh, but then sloppy. Harrison Fry comes around the 50 and gets smoked. That's a bad death for Harrison.
That's okay, because Archie's right there to fill his spot. Dynasty understands how to play this field.
But with 4 minutes left, he just saw Axel run off. He knows he's not right in front of him. He doesn't need to check around. He could have just hid there for a little beat, and then now it would be Harrison and Archie, and Dynasty would be in a great 5-on-4 situation instead of a 4-on-4. Yes.
Oh, no, Harrison definitely blew it, but Dynasty is going to be fine because of Archie and because they understand how to play the field. If you lose the first guy, the second guy gets in there.
Chris Shear with a big move out into D4, so Dynasty playing the aggressor here in this one, trying to trap Impact in these back spots, and Nick Laval's on an island right now. Nick Laval's on an island in spot can. He's down low as possibly as he can. The referee's going to give him a check. He's feeling a ton of pressure.
Well, and if they can get Archie and Chris to both shoot at him at the same time, he can get pinched out in that can.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening here. Yeah.
Ryan Greenspan's going to get out behind Archie Montemayor, try to get in the snake with them.
Again, so many of these points is coming down to the second and third guy coming through the snake side. We identified it in practice last weekend, and the teams that understood that and executed that are going to do really well here.
Chris Shear past the 50-yard line onto Impact side into their D4.
It's awesome to see how much they trust him, and he has just accepted all of the weight and done great.
And here he comes.
And look at, he's got 3 guys in front of him on his side of the field.
Yeah, look at him.
Gets him
Oh, Chris Shear just shot 4 bodies. I think he might have pushed a body into Archie's gun. It doesn't matter. Chris Shear putting the team on his back a bit on that D side with a couple beautiful moves. Also helping Marcelo Margot helping quarterback him down the field.
And all 3 Impact players were on his side of the field. It wasn't like he slipped down on the side of the field there was nobody at.
Unbelievable, man. San Diego Dynasty, it was looking real bad for him here.
Real bad.
Real bad. They were down by 3. They scored 3 unanswered to tie. That's 4 unanswered points in a row for San Diego Dynasty to knock Edmonton Impact out of this tournament.
It was super smart of Dynasty, too, to need to win that crucial port and not sit in the back, cross the back, and hope that they didn't win the game, to take the initiative, to go forward, take the key positions, make the key kills, and win. And that seems like that's probably the way you should do it.
Ladies, just imposing.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, as we look at Dynasty celebrate in the pits, go back and rewatch that game if you're an up-and-coming paintball player and take notes. That is a straight textbook comeback. A brutal display of aggression, control, and clutch.
I feel like we can call it now. Let's just get in first place, and that gets us out of here.
Oh man, we still got a lot of tournament to play here. Big shout out to Carbon Paintball. They have an interesting team program. It's mix and match. Head to carbonpaintball.com. That's CRBN paintball.com. And they are the provider of Golden Barrel. So tough to call on Dynasty, man. I mean, Chris Shear in the running with that one right there in an overtime point to knock Impact out of the tournament. Already had an MVP. Unbelievable. So we're going to reset here. Ryan Gray, you guys are doing a great job. Notorious, thank you so much for joining us up here. You guys got a bright future in front of you. It's going to be Hurricanes and Damage, AC Diesel and Heat in the quarterfinals here at the 2023 NXL Mid-Atlantic Major. I'm Matty Marshall here on Go Sports. We'll be back.
Bottles on, my field.
Hey, this is Walker with Carbon Paintball here to talk to you about our SC custom jerseys.
To start your team's design, head over to crbnpaintball.com, fill in some team information, including what colors, what template you want to base your jersey off of, upload your main team logo and any sponsors, enter your name and your number, and we're going to kick you back a 3D image of your jersey. The custom jersey is built on a 5-panel design that's all customizable. The jersey features a DWR coating all throughout the jersey, so it is water resistant. It also is stain proof, and it has side mesh venting. The jersey is also very fitted, so it has a compact neck collar, and it also features elastic thumb loops to keep the sleeves in place while you're sliding or running. To start your team design, head over to crbnpaintball.com.
Who you kidding around? All that hating still can't bring me down. Matter of fact, look how I'm living now. Can't give you figures, it's a big amount. Spanish woman with me sipping crown. I'm just here to have a look around. Get to work, I'm here to lift some pounds. I'm on another wave, a different sound. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver in silence, then let them in, chalk up their body, another one body, that's just how it go. I got some secrets, I'm shaking the game so they stay on their toes. Stay in your lane, how to stay on the go. I can play with the pros and act like a rookie, so they overlook me, then I double up again, none of their knows, none of them cold. They just got lucky but never adapted, so I'm to the one if it's coming to blows. My enemies cutting it close, I let them think that they got me, but what do you know? I had them beat before we ever spoke, I'm ready for smoke. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me.